All right, everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be reacting to a debate. That's right, guys, another debate reaction, but we're going to be reacting to a debate that was done by a friend of the show, just slightly smaller content creator. We're nearly neck and neck. A Pillow. And you guys should all go subscribe to A Pillow so that A Pillow surpasses me in subs. Okay? A Pillow needs to have 81,000 subs right now. So go do that. Go take care of that. I just dropped links in the chat. All right? A friend of mine named A Pillow debated a Hotep. Should I hop on for this? I actually am quite tired. I don't know if I have the energy for a two-person stream today, but obviously we're doing Zomboid in the next couple days, so we'll be able to talk about it then while we're playing the game because I'll be streaming it. So A Pillow ended up debating a Hotep, I imagine pulled in from chat, and I've not seen many A Pillow debates yet, so we're going to be judging the debate as we go. Actually, my chat's kind of covering up A Pillow's chat. It works. Kind of a Hotep, so not like a full-on Hotep. Regardless, we'll take a look at this debate. We'll give A Pillow tips and props where warranted, and just generally get our own measure of things. Let's watch.
Specific internet groups. What do you mean by that?
Oh, you know what groups I'm talking about.
No, what groups are we talking about?
Yeah, the Tariq Nasheed groups, the fucking
you're
Dr.
saying-
Umar groups. Yeah, those people in particular. Listen, dude, I already checked your vibe. I knew who you were going into this. No, because I know exactly what kind of groups you're in. You're in the kind of groups who want to promote yourself. Hey, howdy, hello everyone. I'm about to debate a Hotep. Let's go.
It's a little bit fast. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit so it I put it on 1.5 speed. I'm gonna put it on 1.3. It's a little bit fast.
How are you?
Oh.
Hi, how are you?
Alright, so I need to know who you are.
Well, I mean, you can call me A Pillow. You know, use anything with me. Any pronouns if you'd like. I don't really care what you call me.
I don't really play into pronouns and stuff, but if you want to do that, that's fine.
I mean,
anyway, I need to know who you are, your race, where you come from, and what topic you want to talk about.
okay, so, I am a black person from North Carolina.
Okay, we're already off to a great start. We are off to an amazing start. We're off to a fantastic start.
My family has been in North Carolina. We're actually lucky enough to be able to trace.
All right, so your first mistake, A Pillow, is answering that you're black. Okay, you should have immediately replied that you're white. Okay, you should have continued this entire conversation with your opponent under the assumption that you are white. Okay, you played your most powerful move right off the bat. Oh, it would have blown up. Yeah, you played your most powerful move right off the bat. Like, you could have had this person saying, like, calling you whitey and cracker and, oh wait, I'm on Twitch, shit, and everything, and then just turn on your camera and then just leave the call. Just leave the call immediately after you just turn on your camera, stare at the camera for 5 seconds, total silence, boom boom, like the Discord like leaving noise happens. You just leave the call. That'd be amazing.
At least our last couple of
That's what I'd do.
slave ancestors. A handful
So what I'm hearing is that you're a fellow foundational Black American. You were behind the building of this country, same as my ancestors who were slaves.
I mean, I suppose you can say that, definitely.
Wait, what did he say?
At least our last couple of slave ancestors. A handful.
So what I'm hearing is that you're a fellow foundational Black American. You were behind.
Okay, I was worried. I was worried that no. I was worried that he was going to try to say, oh yeah, well I have more generations of my family that root back to slavery or something. I don't know. I misheard it. I'm high. My bad.
Building of this country, same as my ancestors who were slaves.
Imagine
I suppose you can say that, definitely.
Alrighty. So what topic do you want? Wait. Before we continue, where do you lean and who do you support?
Wait. So, foundational Black American is apparently a term that's like popular with like Hoteps, like in the Tariq Nasheed crowd, according to A Pillow in chat. What? So that just refers to Black Americans that are descendants of slaves, right? Because obviously this country was built on the backs of slaves. That's not really a disputed fact if you know anything about history. Like, I get, it's actually kind of a nice term. Like, it makes sense. but it is also a little LARPy, you know? And knowing who it comes from, it's like, you know? Like, if I heard that came from some academic space, I'd be like, yeah, it's a good term. I actually like that more than, like, African-American, right? Because obviously, if you're from, like, say an African immigrant, right? Like, you come from, like you're a black African immigrant from South Africa, right? And you come to America. You're situated, well, South Africa is a bad example because of apartheid, but a country in Africa that was not affected by hardcore white colonization really bad. And I honestly can't name one off the top of my head that wasn't hardcore affected by white colonization from Europeans at some point. But like if you're an immigrant, you come to America, like Ethiopia, that's a good example. Thank you, Apillo. Like if you're an Ethiopian immigrant coming to America, you are socially in a very different bracket, I think, to most black Americans, right? Because if you have the money and resources and connections and goddamn, you can win the goddamn lottery to get citizenship in America, you're probably here on a work visa or whatever, if that's the case, then you guys don't need to just start naming every African country you know now. Then chances are you've got money and you've got like a fair amount of status, right? You're pursuing work, maybe even starting a business in America, right? And so that would mean you're in a very different situation as compared to like somebody who's like great, like not that many greats. It's a scarily small amount of greats that you have to go through before you get to this ancestor was a slave, like an actual full-on chattel slave. And then beyond that point, it gets really hard to put together family history because they kind of didn't like allowing anybody who they kept as slaves being able to, you know, keep like a family history. They didn't let them learn to read or write. They would separate families and break them up, children from their mothers and fathers. A lot of families had like there's also like a lot of situations where like slave owners raped women that they owned, and so that like that was part of it as well, like, and so they would have children, and that's part of like their family history as well. It can get pretty complicated and pretty wild. It's a whole fucking thing. You guys should read Roots, written by the guy who has the same exact name as me. It's actually really good.
Or politically, just so I know.
Politically?
Kind of breaks down how fucking horrific all that was. Like, if you were... Like, imagine your family is forced to try to survive all of that, and it doesn't.
I'm what you would, I guess most people would call very far left. I like to say, kind of half-jokingly, that if I were to voice my, deeply held political positions, I would end up with a bullet in the back of my head. Let's just put it like that.
I'm not going to put a bullet back in your head. I'm just going to, surgically deal with your arguments and your political beliefs.
Well, I don't think you would do that. I mean, like, you know, FBI, CIA, you know, them doing what,
they're going to get you.
I mean, they do the same thing if you're a black American. They aren't very historically good to us. A lot of them were behind some of the Black Panthers getting brutally murdered.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, anyway, what topic would you like to talk about?
Well, I saw there were a couple. You said some interesting things about, you know, West Africans, Nigerians in general. I saw you talking about, black feminism. We could talk about, like, you know...
Black feminism. Here, I'm going to boost the audio. I feel like on your end, this is really quiet. So I'm going to boost it.
There are many different things. It's up to you.
Well, to get into this topic about...
Yeah, there you go, chat.
And attention I was talking about, well, the reason why is because a lot of West Africans historically, and I'm not saying all of them, a lot of them were behind.
Apillo, this is the advice that I'll give. I don't know if you have it already. Do you use, like, a traditional microphone? I assume you're not using, like, the microphone built into your earbuds, right? No screen? My bad. I assume you're not using the blue snowball? Okay, good. If you have NVIDIA hardware, please get NVIDIA Broadcast. If you want, we can probably get in Discord someday, and I can just help you set up all your shit for optimizing streaming and making it look as pretty as possible. But you're really going to want to get NVIDIA Broadcast. This is going to let you literally put a filter on your microphone with the click of a button that eliminates all, like, any of that buzz that you can hear, that kind of that, I mean, it helps a lot. It really helps. And it really helps eliminate background noise. I don't have it on right now because I don't have much noise in my room, but if you have a buzzy mic, like a mic that has some background buzz or any like it just helps a lot. And it also boosts your audio, your voice, to make it sound clear. It's super helpful. Also, exclamation point Apillo in chat to see Apillo's channel, and go subscribe.
Us coming here, a lot of them did sell their fellow brethren into slavery to the Europeans, and
Well,
that's why we ended up here.
well, yeah, that is true. There were definitely a lot of economies
Yeah,
and
and the issue that I have with Nigerians is that not all of them, a lot of them are supportive, and I'm for them. I'm a Pan-Africanist at heart, loving a foundational black American. I love all black people across the globe. But my entire point is, a lot of them, not all of them, come here and they call us Akatas, and Akata is a term that means.
Yeah, it is like who the fuck cares about like a lot of so when he said a lot of, I think he said a lot of Nigerians are okay with this or that. That is basically a non-statement, right? I would have immediately stopped and said, wait, what do you mean by that? Prove that I called him out on it repeatedly. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't have paused.
Cotton picker and is used towards black
Yeah,
Americans.
yeah, I know what the term means.
Yeah, and even to this day, it's not a word that's not used a lot. Even to this day, a lot of black Americans still have experiences. I was called a Akata once while I was walking minding my own business and talking to this one African at their business. My mother was called a Akata once, despite us living all the way in the South. The
Yeah.
African Americans called them that. So there's a tension there to where they see
there we
themselves
go.
as above African Americans and benefit, and they identify themselves with white supremacists. And a lot of these whites, the reason why they do it is because historically, a lot of other groups identify with white supremacy to benefit off of America. A lot of them are programmed when they come here through immigration to hate black Americans.
Okay.
You can look
Yeah, Pillow realized the person was quiet and turned them up like in the original stream. So now from here on out, we should be all good audio wise.
Yeah.
stuff.
Can I
They're
get a word in
when
real
they
quick?
Yeah, can I say my point? When they come here, they are shown 1350, and they are told explicitly not to be around black Americans. And here's the reason why: if they are around criminals or they get involved with crime, they get deported. You know that, correct?
Yeah, of course.
But when they show 1350, they're incentivized to not be around black Americans because they show it without context.
Yeah, okay. Hold up 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I would recommend when you want to get like a typed message to chat. Well, here's the best way to do it. Like open up Notepad mid debate, and you're like, you just do that mid debate. You just bust open the old Notepad and start talking to your chat that way.
Okay, so a couple of things to that. Of course, we both have to acknowledge, so when it comes to West Africa as an area, it is a very big area with very different groups, many different tribal groups with different, at the time, of course, now in the modern day, after colonialism, a lot of them have atomized into more nation states, although they do still have a lot of like tribal bounds and territories and things such as that, and like, little states and provinces within their groups. But I will say, a big issue that I took with your rhetoric last night, or I guess you could say this morning, time is weird. But a lot of it's weird. But a lot of the issue that I took with your rhetoric is that it seemed like you were kind of casting a wide net, which I'm not saying that that's what your intention was, but it seemed like you were doing a lot of that it seemed like it was also kind of in response to, of course, horrible discrimination that you have faced at the hands of some West Africans. But my main thing is like
You are being so good faith right now, Pillow. You're being too good faith, all right? This is my advice, all right? The vast majority of people you will debate are not there for a productive conversation. They're there to try to destroy you. Oh, I get worse faith later? I'm sure you do, but so far, it's pretty good faith. Most people that you'll end up debating, especially as you get larger, are there to try to destroy you and take like the crown from you, so to say. And so you have to recognize that you're not dealing with an honest debater, like right off the bat, right? So going into a conversation like this, so knowing that I'm dealing with like a Hotep who likes Tariq Nasheed, for example, the first thing I would hone in on is their opinion on LGBT rights. Most Hoteps tend to be of the belief that LGBT acceptance, being gay or trans, etc., is a corruptive force that is infecting the black community, primarily men in the black community, that is being perpetuated by white people, or if they're really crazy, Jewish people. And and it basically circles back to this like toxic masculinity narrative that is, while not exclusive, is quite prevalent in some parts of the black community. This idea that like masculinity is a certain thing, and if you break that masculinity, you're gay, right? And homophobia is a problem in every community, regardless of race, especially in this country. That's just the case, right? And so I have no doubt that the average like Tariq Nasheed tier like fan, Hotep, whatever dude is probably going to have probably not going to have an easy time saying they're cool with gay people if I question them on it, you know? So that's where I'd start personally, and then we can kind of work into the conspiracy that like white people or Jews or whatever are like corrupting black male masculinity with like gay propaganda or whatever. It's really bizarre, yeah. The guy was kind of weird, but not like homophobic. Interesting.
Don't think that it's necessarily good for people to be casting like such wide nets due to those
But I'm not casting white nets. I specifically made a distinction and said that not all of them are like that, but those people who act like that, we should not actively associate with them, or if we can, maybe educate them. A lot of them have been educated, but they still willingly go into ignorance. I can show you multiple examples of that.
Well,
and to go across the area, I'm not saying all of West Africa. I specifically said Nigerians.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, of course,
others.
but like it's also important to note that like there were plenty of Nigerians whose ancestors didn't engage in that, because
and I'm not
I mean,
talking about them, am I?
Well, yeah, of course, but
were there not also a lot of Nigerians who were victimized by the Nigerians this guy is claiming were victimizers? Like, if, okay, you're in 1770 something Nigeria, all right? And you see what is going down there, okay? Most likely it's going to be powerful, wealthy Nigerians capturing and, like, imprisoning, kidnapping, and, like, trafficking non-wealthy, powerful Nigerians, you know, based on how hard it is to transport people or anything at that time. So, yeah, like, this isn't some, like, I'm sure that you had, like, Nigerian slave masters or whatever capturing non-Nigerian Africans and selling them to European slave traders, but for the most part, would they not be victimizing other Nigerians? Like, if you're in America and you're black and your like ancestry is Nigerian or it's traced back to Nigeria, then there's a very large chance that you are a living like argument against this guy's belief here. It was a very small minority of people doing the slave trading. Of course it was. Like, yeah, obviously. But regardless, like, this is unironically the same argument that Nazis make, ironically enough. There's so much crossover between conservatives, Nazis, and, like, and Hoteps, right? Conservatives and Nazis will say, well, yeah, you can say white people are so bad for slavery and all that, but who sold them the slaves? Guess what, liberal? Who sold them the slave? Like, they'll do that whole thing. I mean, you guys have probably seen it. Conservatives love doing that shit. And then you'll have Hoteps do the exact same thing. Because, like, I guess we're gatekeeping being African now. I mean, technically, we do already gatekeep being African because everybody's African. Like, haven't we pretty much narrowed down, like, where the first humans came from? And it's, like, pretty smack dab center of Africa. I forget which country. But it's, like, pretty much in the center of Africa is where humans came from. Modern day Ethiopia, that's more on the coast, on the east coast. The east coast is the least coast. I prefer the west coast. Okay, well, yeah, all humans came from Africa. We already knew that, but I was curious specifically where. Like, specifically, like, narrowing it down, how like, close can we go to, like, the, you know, like, the birthplace of humanity, right? Like, in Game of Thrones, the Fist of the First Men, where, like, humanity was born. Yeah, people migrated away, but still. Anyway. But yeah, we already gatekeep being African to begin with, but, like, now it's getting a little ridiculous. The person Apillo is debating is a hate watcher, or not, maybe not a hate watcher, but a watch. Okay, well, if you see this, maybe try not to be as racist, because I'm gonna be honest, the whole like the weird lines that you're drawing here are a little sussy.
But my thing about it is when you're pointing to a specific nationality and not specific groups, and even within those
I'm trying to find the Earth's 00. That is great. Holy shit, that was great, Flight. Yeah, I'm literally trying to find humanity's spawn point, 00.
Groups that primarily engaged in slave trading, we also have to acknowledge the fact that it wasn't poorer people in those groups, it was richer people. Slave trading is an extremely lucrative business.
And you need to realize that a lot of these Nigerians who come over here are among the most successful of the country. America
yeah,
go for
in the modern
day.
In the modern day, that doesn't necessarily correlate with their ancestors being slave traders. They could have hit it big.
I'm not
recently.
saying did I say that all of them were slave traders? I said the majority of them who do have that in their ancestry and come here because America picks the most successful of the bunch. Those are the ones that I call out. Did I say all Nigerians?
No, you didn't say that, but the vagary of your language is leading to that kind of expression. You are.
Maybe
you're saying Nigerians, and then I'm saying, okay, well, specific groups and mostly the rich people, and you're saying, well, the ones who come over are the rich people.
Maybe I should clarify this. Maybe I should say rich Nigerian immigrants should come from that ideology. Is that better?
Okay. Well, yeah, then you can criticize them, but just saying Nigerians in general, which is what you were saying in the Discord.
I said, yeah.
You were saying Nigerians in general, and then when you got called on it, you said not all of them. I can pull up specific...
Oh, we're getting a Mott and Bailey. Oh, no. Okay. I like what you're doing here, Pilla. I hope you keep doing it. When somebody tries to pull this shit on you, you cannot let them, okay? So many people say the most outrageous shit online, then you bring them on stream, you bring them into a debate, and they completely roll it back. Backpedal to some essentially still the same, but more defensible position than what the outrageous shit they said in a place where they couldn't be pushed back on with nuance. So yeah, you gotta hammer them down on this. Say, nope, no backpedaling, defend what you said. Defend what you said.
Messages if you want me to.
Here's the thing you need to understand. Whenever I'm in text chat within this server, this happens a lot. Whenever I'm talking to multiple people at once, I get very fucking angry because a lot of you have the tendency to dogpile on me. So of course I start saying shit that I probably can easily be taken out of context, and I get dogpiled on that more, and then I get more and more angry, and my shit gets messed up.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe right now in this VC I can clarify this, but you gotta realize how toxic this server can be, especially when you are pro-black.
I will say, maybe I don't know enough about the history behind this, and I'm speaking from ignorance, and I am speaking from a certain level of ignorance. I know a fair amount about the history behind this in America, more so than the average American does, but as far as, like, actual, like, African history goes, don't really know that much. So, know that as I say this. I feel like nothing would lead me to clarify that it's Nigerians that did the selling of black Africans to European slave traders. Like, I don't know why that would be a relevant detail, right? Like, I would just say, if I was giving like a detailed breakdown, like, surely it wasn't just Nigerian wealthy ass fucking human traffickers that were selling Africans off to slave traders, right? Surely there were other parts of Africa, other countries that was happening in. I know that was happening in other parts of Africa. So like, I don't know why there's this like honing in on Nigerians. A vast majority of slaves can be traced back to Senegal. I hope I pronounced that right. Okay. Where is that specifically? I assume in Nigeria. Let's check it out. Senegal, facts and culture. It's on that. It is like the most western protruding tip of Africa. Okay. I want you to imagine Africa right now. You know that bit that like protrudes the most on the western tip? It is that most protruding tip on the. I believe it is the most western point. Just by looking at it here, would be contained in Senegal, which is actually kind of makes sense. That like the most western part of the entire continent would be where a lot of fucking colonization would happen from Europe. Food and recipes, rice, corn, millet. Okay, this is a lot of food recipes. Okay, well, I learned a little bit about food recipes.
Okay, listen, I think there's a big difference between being pro-black. I'm pro-black. I'm very openly pro-black, actually. I think there's a big difference between being pro-black and also being pro-black to a point where you start shitting on different groups just because of
I'm
what
not
they've
shitting
done
on
in the
different
past.
groups.
You have. I quoted a specific message from you.
I'm shitting on specific individuals, racist Nigerians within that group. But you have to understand this.
So,
if you want me to go into like point by point, I can concede on the fact that it probably doesn't look good to you. But my entire point here is that we should call out these people, these politicians. A lot of these Nigerians are politicians who are actively trying to mess with African Americans. One of them, I can show you a link, wanted to remove Black History Month and make it American History Month, which is basically White History Month.
was he a Republican?
Yes, he was a G.
Okay, oh my god, this person is having... Okay, the person you're debating, Apillo, might just have a good point, and they're making it horrifically badly. What they may be talking about is wealthy Nigerian immigrants coming to America, becoming Republican because wealthy, and then getting into politics and advocating for really bad shit, but their race being used by the Republican Party as a defense against accusations of racism within the party. Like, is that what the argument they were trying to make is? But they're doing it really badly? That's what the point partially was? Because that's a real thing. That is a real thing. I have no doubt that's a real problem. But, like... God, I had no idea if that was the point they were trying to make for like 9 straight minutes. He had some good points, but he was bad at expressing it. Really bad so far, from what I can tell.
Well, then that's probably why. Yeah, a lot of Republicans do that. A lot of, like, Republicans, even from racial minorities, do that.
A lot of these Nigerians identify with that. They rock
a lot? How many? Give me data. You're saying a lot vaguely. That's the thing about it. Your language is being vague. Give me data. You're saying a lot of Nigerians. Give me data. Show me.
Do you think that what data do you specifically want? Do you think that there's a specific list of how many racist Nigerians there are?
No, but there are polls. There are polls. You can ask. Yeah, you can literally just...
I like that you're hammering down for a... There is no data on this, and they couldn't have any data on it, so their opinion is coming from anecdote. And that's what you should call out here. You don't have data on this. You don't have any solid evidence that this is a problem. This is an opinion you've gotten from anecdote. Here's the thing, though. Personally, I actually don't necessarily disagree with this opinion derived from anecdote if it is what I think it is. If it's the argument that wealthy immigrants will come from other countries because they have money and the ability to immigrate to America and become Republicans and advocate for right-wing ideas because they have money, and that's what wealthy people in America tend to do, be Republicans, because the Republicans hate poor people and want to help rich people keep on making more money. So, yeah, he didn't go into talking about that? Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm being too charitable.
Go around, find a poll. Okay, how many Nigerians approve of, say, this politician? There are millions of polls in this country because there are millions of different kinds of people. If you're gonna make wide claims like that, you have to have sources to back it up. You can't just say many Nigerians and then get mad when someone says, "Oh, that's a little vague," because that is vague. There are millions of Nigerian immigrants and descendants of Nigerian immigrants who live in this country. You can't just make wide aspersions like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm covering up
at the same time.
I'm moving my camera.
You gotta understand where I'm coming from within my own situation that I find myself in. You can understand that the black community itself. This is why earlier when I was in general chat, I brought up the fact that the black community should focus on itself and handle these issues that we have among our African brothers who come from the continent, among other.
Maybe this is a white dude thing, but I always kind of cringe when that language comes up, right? Like, I always feel like I'm about to hear something that's going to be like, I agree with what you're saying, generally speaking, but do we have to make it all LARPy and about, like, bloodlines? And, like, this feels like we're literally just a couple of words away from talking about redeeming bloodlines and shit, right? Like, yeah, is it a white boy thing? Am I being a white boy, or is it weird? Does everybody just kind of find it a little bit LARPy and a little bit sussy-wussy? Like our African brothers and sisters. Like I feel like there's a reason. I feel like there's a reason that the villain of the first Black Panther movie, Killmonger, basically says exactly that. Like, uses that exact same terminology. And you're supposed to think, I mean, he has a point, but, like, he's also going about all this in the worst possible way. I feel like that might have something to do with it. You know? I need to center my camera vertically. There we go.
Groups that actively shit on us despite us advocating for their civil rights and that they benefit off of that.
Okay, then, well, we can address them. We can most certainly address them. But whenever we are addressing specific bad people, we can't go around making wide claims and casting wide nets.
I didn't say it was all Nigerians. This is what I did.
No, but you said many. You said many, and that's vague.
Many, yes.
Many is a lot.
Probably. If you want me to get up like precise studies, maybe.
Wakanda could have stopped the Nigerian slavers. Jesus Christ.
But from my experience and what I've seen across the board in real life,
that is true though. That is an argument made in Black Panther that Wakanda could have helped, like with a lot of shit, you know, and not had to lift much of a finger, you know, for like, especially when it came to stuff that is literally on the same continent as them that was happening, that was horrific. Like they could have just like, I don't know, like. I don't know. We're talking about Marvel lore now. We're getting too stun-locked. Fuck
on
this.
social media, among politics itself, I've seen a lot.
We could also get into Asgard, too. Where was Thor during World War II? Where was Thor when the Nazis were doing all that weird, you know, appropriation of Nordic, like, shit? Where was he? He was alive.
Of Nigerians, you have a lot of Nigerians who associate with the Republicans.
Okay, bro, so anecdotal evidence is not evidence. Yeah? I've met many Nigerians in my life who are extremely progressive, and I've met Nigerians in my life who are conservative. Yeah? It depends on the person. You can't use anecdotal evidence. Because I'm not using that as evidence in my argument either.
You're not using that as well, but you understand this. Anecdotally, they can add some level of understanding.
It can add understanding, but you can't use it to justify your arguments.
Maybe. I'll concede on that, but can we continue down the point real quick? Remember what I said earlier about us?
So, I'm going to give you guys a little lesson in how to talk about an issue you feel like might exist because of personal anecdote. If you've had an experience that leads you to feel like, or multiple experiences should be what leads you to this, like a lot of them, make you think maybe this is a pattern, you should say something like, I feel like I'm seeing a pattern of blank. I feel like that's a much better way to engage with like, imagine if instead this person had said, I feel like I'm seeing a pattern of wealthy Nigerian immigrants coming to America and basically joining the Republican Party, becoming hyper-conservative, and engaging in some of the most horrific racial rhetoric you can imagine, and then using their race as a defense against accusations of racism. The Republican Party will use them as a shield. And there's basically not any real effective, like, you know, argument or narrative the left has against that right now, and I think it's a problem. Like, if that was what this person had said on Discord, I don't think they'd be on a Pillow's stream getting debated right now, you know? Listen, think through what you want to say very carefully, all right? It's a very valuable skill to think before you speak.
Not being advocating for other groups, and specifically the Black community not outlying. Remember earlier?
Yes.
I brought that up specifically for the reason, due to the state that Black America is in within a lot of communities. They're doing very badly. There's still high crime rates. There's like a lot of shit that's going on that we can name out right now. And I'm saying, I'm not against those groups. I'm not a bigot. I'm not against groups advocating for themselves, but I'm for the Black community not all the time being incentivized to vote for these other groups or advocate for these other groups while we're dealing with our own shit. Because when we do advocate for these other groups, for example, Hispanics, we advocated for them. We help them get into this country. For the Asians who benefited off of.
I like how me and a Pillow, but I like how I hit that look and then a Pillow hit the same look at like afterwards. Like literally the like at the same time we're like, what the fuck? Yeah, this needs to be an emote face. You need to make this an emote face. Let's rehear that.
Time being incentivized to vote for these other groups or advocate for these other groups while we're dealing with our own shit. Because when we do advocate for these other groups, for example, Hispanics, we advocated for them. We help them get into this country.
What? What do you mean? What is this nebula? Okay. So we've got so many layers to dissect here. First, we've got lumping all Black people in as a monolith, for starters. Then we've got lumping all Black people in as a progressive monolith that has fought for like racial equality, broadly speaking. Now, while I will say that racial equality being reached has been done in large part by intersectional Black activists, it has not been only done by like the basically the perception that I am getting from what they're saying is all Black Americans fought in a civil rights battle that also resulted in, or even maybe they fought for other racial groups to have and ethnic groups to have acceptance in our society and equal rights. And yet here we are left behind. Like, it's so bizarre. This person has no concept of intersectionality. That's what you're completely right. You're completely right. They actually believe that only one thing can be focused on. Here's the issue, though. I actually think that this whole, like, hyper-fixating on one single group that is being put down by, like... Let's be real. This is something that me, every lefty, and every Hotep can agree on. Our society is controlled by racist, wrinkly old, white, rich boomers, all right? And they're bigots, and they're homophobic, too. That is who runs our society right now, all right? Now, I believe that we need to fight these people on every single horrible belief that they stand for, and not hyperfixate on one bad thing they believe in, while letting every other horrific idea they believe in fall to the wayside. Because, frankly, I think that having a whole understanding of what these people believe as just being like, we hate all groups that don't fall into this extremely, defined group that we're okay with, obviously black people fall outside of the group that these conservatives are okay with, but so do gay people. So do Hispanic people. So do most immigrants, just in general. So do women, honestly. So do gay people and trans people. Like, there needs to be a united front. Poor people, just generally, the working class, they hate you. Even if you hate all the other groups I listed and you're a poor person, doesn't matter. They hate you because you're poor. Even if you agree with them and hate all those other groups. We need, like, a front, a political solidarity is the goal. A recognition that, oh shit, these people in power hate literally anybody that isn't like them, and we need to stop gatekeeping people that aren't like them because they aren't like us. Because they've got the same bone to pick with the same people, and we need to look at the people that are actually oppressing us and not make up conspiracy theories about how, for example, and a lot of Hoteps believe this, that, like, white people are infiltrating infiltrating gayness into the black community, right? Like, it's a conspiracy theory that's gaining some levels of popularity online. And I don't think that's good. I think it's cringe. I mean, obviously there's Kanye with his whole thing. Yeah, there's no... We don't need to get into that. I feel like Kanye's basically proven this point pretty well. It's crazy because before Kanye, I feel like it was way harder to prove the argument that, like, black people could be racist. Like, you could get the... Okay, conservatives would agree that black people could be racist towards white people, but they would never agree that a black person could be racist towards black people, right? And now I feel like that's not... I feel like the idea that a black person can't be a Nazi has kind of been shattered with the whole Kanye thing. It's a lot easier of a point to prove now. People just kind of stop jumping to the assumption that, oh, this person can't be racist. They're insert race. But Kanye is dead. That is true. Kanye died.
For the Asians who benefited off of civil rights, a lot of them forget that. And then after we advocate for these groups,
wait, hold up. You're doing that same thing again.
America put Asian Americans in internment camps during World War II, guys. Just thought I'd give you guys a little American history refresher.
You're saying a lot and many. You're saying a lot and many. Listen, if you want to say, wait, hold up. If you want to say specific groups, don't say a lot and many though. Again, you're doing that same thing where it makes it seem like you're casting wide nets on specific groups when you can.
We also basically did the same thing on the Mexico-America border, like, recently.
Point to specific criteria.
Hispanic. Let's go to the Hispanics, for example. Do you know how many Hispanics vote for the GOP?
A pretty
and
decent amount,
black,
actually. Yeah, I've seen data on it before.
Within LA, you know who paved the way for them to get here?
Yes, Black Americans, but a lot of them were also there already due to California having been Mexican territory.
Yeah, but do you know how many of them?
Okay. Whew. Oh my God. Aren't most Hispanic people the result of Spanish colonization of indigenous peoples that lived in South America and Central America? And technically, isn't Mexico technically in North America? Yeah, so we're already talking about a population of people who, especially in that time period, were like fresh out of colonization. A nice, horrific fucking genocidal, rape-filled colonization. So that's the group that we're referring to here, in question here. Just kind of fairly fresh out of it in the grand scheme of human world history. And Portugal as well. And then those indigenous groups that were now like or I guess now the children of those indigenous groups that were raped and colonized by Portuguese and Spanish and like France and all that shit. Now they like live in like southern, like where I live now, basically South California, SoCal, like in that part of America, and then they get driven out in a violent war to take over more land in the West by America. And now this guy's claiming that the civil rights movement was like this altruistic what is that? I don't even know what this person is trying to argue. It's so bizarre. I understand how dumbfounded you are right now, Pillow. This guy is arguing some crazy shit.
Did come here and are against Black Americans.
Yeah, and that's a bad thing, but there are also many who came here and are perfectly fine with Black Americans, largely because a lot of us live in the same communities with each other.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that, like, Latin Americans have done a lot to help with civil rights activism, also for attaining rights for Black people. Like, there's also a pretty sizable, like, community of people in America that are, like, mixed, as in Black and Hispanic. So what's this like bizarre narrative? How's that apply? This is bizarre. We're doing too much line drawing here, I feel like. Xanderhall, basically Black people should be insular because we can't trust other groups, was his point. We're tight AF. Yeah. I don't like that idea. I'm personally not a big fan of the whole guys. It has literally been scientifically proven that being exposed to other groups of people that aren't like you makes you more accepting of them. Whether it be literally having friends and acquaintances and coworkers and classmates, or literally watching YouTubers and streamers and like celebrities and TV show characters and whatnot, cartoon characters that fall into those groups as well. This has literally been proven. Parasocial relationships with people of a certain group make you less bigoted towards that group. Tons of people became less transphobic because they just ended up watching a bunch of ContraPoints videos, found them entertaining, and just kind of got a parasocial relationship with her and kind of stopped hating trans people because they just became such a big fan of this trans content creator. Or just stopped being iffy on trans people because of that, right? That's why representation matters so much. And this person's arguing against exposing people to more of the, like, exposing people to more different people who would make them more accepting. You're basically trying to withhold the cure because the cure kind of hurts. Yeah. Solving racism in our society is kind of like chemotherapy. And it kind of hurts. There's going to be some negative side effects. There's going to be downsides to it, but it has to happen to cure the cancer. Racism and systemic racism is the cancer, and the cure for it is chemotherapy and hardcore radiation, but it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not easy and it's not pleasant, but it has to be done.
Due to racial prejudice faced from white people.
The issue that I have with, I didn't say all Hispanics, so the issue that I have with is these Hispanics who advocately try to destroy our communities or
racism. No, I'm not saying racism has its downsides. I mean fighting against racism and engaging in as much like inclusivity as possible does have downsides. There are cases that you can hyperfixate on where negative outcomes occur because of it. I don't think that matters, though. I'm making the argument that even if that is the case, that is like the side effects one might experience from undergoing chemotherapy treatment. Yes, there are negative side effects to chemotherapy treatment and radiation, but you're still doing it to cure a cancer that will kill you. And racism is that cancer in our society. That is the analogy I'm making.
With Black Americans. That's the issue that I have with them.
Okay, so like, can you give me some names?
Racist. Not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of your head. So you're saying there are plenty, but you can't give. Can you give me like 5?
I remember specific ones from a few articles that I could not name on the top of my head. There was one of them who were. Fuck, I remembered them. They were in. It was an LA congresswoman or something. I forgot her name. Remember that story?
Yeah, the racist lady. But then again, that was like that whole city council. That situation was fucked.
Yeah. There was one other guy and a few other social media influencers that I saw supporting her as well.
Okay.
And a few others who were against reparations. I forgot the name.
No, don't click. No, that is not the message you're supposed to get out of that. You see, being around black people is painful, like chemotherapy. No, that's not what I meant. Fuck you. No. I meant that there's going to be situations like heightened racial tensions that can lead to, like, for example, who remembers when I debated the one debate host Milfy lady? I forget what her name is. Politically Provoked, the Britney lady. And she did like the little Timmy question. And it was like, what if like the black kid is bullied by white students because he's at a mostly white school? And it's like, yeah, that's a thing that might happen. And we might even see the little Timmy thing where a white kid at a mostly black or like POC school gets bullied for being one of the few white kids there. I don't care. That's what I mean by the negative side effects of this kind of stuff. Sometimes things like that happen, but I don't care. I still think that inclusivity and desegregation is as important as possible.
So I can't name everybody at once, but you can understand my sentiment.
Okay, so can I point out a couple of things on this? Okay, so California as a state is actually majority. I think the largest ethnic group in California as a state is actually Hispanic, which is really interesting when you think of it. And we also have to keep in mind California as a state is one of the most socially progressive states, and although it hasn't necessarily done the best for...
God, they just instituted their flavored vape ban, by the way. I literally bought out my guy's entire stock of these. I was like, yeah, can I have 6? And he was like, that ban's going into place. Like, it went into place yesterday. This is my last bit of stock. And I was like, give me your entire stock. So I have like 16 of these things. But when I need more, I'm literally going to have to go to Arizona. I'm going to have to go to the Arizona border a couple hours away to a vape store to stock up on like a dozen or so more until I can move to Washington.
Racial minorities, as
you can still get it from the reservation, remember? Is that true? Is that true? Hold on. If that's true, then I definitely need to do that. I actually haven't been to the res either. I really want to go to it. Yeah. Okay, Pog. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You guys told me that before, I remember, but I didn't know if it was true. Okay, if that's legit, then I need to do that. But yeah. California is also the 3rd largest economy in the world, isn't it? Like 3rd or 4th, like really high up, like bigger economy than France.
Of recent, and even in the past,
6.
it definitely has
7.
California is definitely one of those states that has been working towards being better. For example, one of the
and
things that they did, legalizing weed and then helping commute the sentence of people who were in on weed charges, which largely affected the black...
The weed is nice. I like the weed. Here, I'm going to go pee really fast, but I'll still be able to hear the debate, okay? So you guys are going to have a Hassan stream for a minute. I hope you guys can endure.
Community. That was one thing they did with a Hispanic majority population who helped vote it in. So whenever you're saying, oh, well, many Hispanics this, many Hispanics that, how about, the Hispanic groups that helped...
How about I make a distinction? How about I make the distinction here? Because Undercover made a point. How about I just say racist Hispanics? Is that better for you?
Yes, that's much better. That's much better. It's much clearer language.
There, because I'm not... I think I'm not properly represented it properly. I meant racist Hispanics. That's probably better.
Yes, thank you. Because
I'm not a racist by any means. I brought this up to Saru earlier because I saw Saru specifically in chat call me a racist towards all white people because I said I don't like white ignorance, which means the K word. white ignorance within the black community is. You know that term, don't you?
The
What it's
K
used
word?
for? No, the term white ignorant. The term white ignorant.
I can look it up. What does it mean?
I could give you a quick synopsis. It's like a devolving from cracker. It means a white ignorant person, a racist, whether it be on the left or right or whatever,
Okay.
whether they know it or not.
Okay, I get
Yeah.
that. You can just say
And-
white
and-
racist. You don't need to use your like pregnancy initiate. Like,
Well, when I called him out earlier, because earlier I was talking about white ignorance, and I said that I made a distinction. I did make a distinction, and he still said I was racist towards white people, and that kind of pissed me the fuck off, and that's why I popped off.
Okay, gotcha.
Because despite me making the distinction of Saru and a lot of other people, I was still called a bigot, a racist towards white people, and that pissed me the fuck off. And you can understand why.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I got muted for like an hour, and then I got fucking chutted, double chutted, I guess, and then I got timed out because I was arguing with him. And you understand why I've been so pissed off for the past few minutes or so. I've been in chat, half an hour or so.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Saru is a fucking asshole.
Gotcha. Okay. So a couple of other things. So
Yeah.
we've cleared it up.
Yeah.
When it comes to like language, yeah. Whenever you mean like
Yeah, of course.
racist people in particular, please just say racist. Don't say like many or a lot or anything like that, because I'm gonna have to call you
sure.
that, because that vagary
Yeah,
is like
sure.
weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, that's fine. I get it. I was being a little bit too blunt. Wasn't thinking.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Trust me. Sometimes people.
I'm just really fired up. That's all. I'm usually calm. But this server is such a toxic space that whenever I try to talk to people, I get fucking dogpiled. Even when I'm being respectful and I get cursed at. So of course I get pissed off.
Yep.
And almost everyone in this VC is guilty of that, besides like Undercover or Bluestone, who I don't know
What I miss?
that much.
Yeah. I mean, trust me. I tried multiple times to like tell people to like, hey, please shut the fuck up. Let me handle this. You know. But you know,
Yeah.
shit happens.
So what other topic do you want to?
Wait, my server's toxic? Is my server toxic, guys? I don't spend a lot of time in my server these days. I've been really busy with the move stuff, but trust me guys, once I've moved up to Washington State, I'm going to spend so much fucking time in my Discord server. We're going to be doing watch parties at least once a week. We're going to be doing game nights. We're going to be hanging out in VC playing games together. Obviously, I'm going to be building the Rust crew, like the massive Rust group I want to build so that I can do a Rust video when I got my 2 PC setup going. I got so many baller ideas for when we get to Seattle. Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Oh, I got Pop-Tarts, guys. Look at them. Oh, look at my Pop-Tarts. I don't know why I decided to do this voice, but I'm just excited about my Pop-Tarts. They're Oreo. Let's watch.
So I remember you said like earlier that you were like a black conservative, but like not in a. I'm assuming not in a Candace Owens way.
No, I don't. I hate Candace Owens. I'm not like a black conservative that blindly votes Republican. The way that I'm a black conservative is that I want to preserve the black household. I want black women and black men.
Makes sense this person's a conservative. Okay. He says some slurs, by the way. Yeah. I mean, conservative, you know?
And to be more traditional and start raising black children. I want black children to thrive. I want us to be more, in a sense, within our communities, more conservative of our culture as well. I want black culture to thrive.
So if I may ask, what's your opinion on I mean, I guess like mixed race relationships. What's your opinion on that?
I've already said my opinion earlier. If you are within a mixed race relationship, that does not automatically make you a coon. What does make you a coon?
Oh no. Oh no. Dude, I love the lead up, by the way. Now, I'm not saying that being in an interracial relationship makes you a insert slur. What a great start. Let's go. This is getting exciting now.
Or what does make me hate you is when you are within a racial relationship and you divorce yourself entirely from your community and raise your kids to either hate black people or not identify with black people, because 9 times out of 10 they will be light skinned. It's all about mindset and how you support your people.
Okay, so
like, no, I'm not against interracial relationships. It's all about the mindset. I've seen plenty of pro-black people who date white women or are married to one. It all depends on your mindset, your language, how you act, and how you carry yourself around your community that you were born within.
Okay, so like you're fine with mixed race relationships. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
If I may ask,
context matters.
Okay, so if I may ask, I think
It's not.
like, I
No,
was
no, it's
looking.
not bullshit. Hold on, no, no, it's not bullshit. How is it bullshit? I responded to you earlier and I said I was fine with it, Eliza. Why are you being a lying bitch right now? Excuse my language. Why are you lying? Why are you saying that I'm bullshitting?
I'm just imagining, like, I'm just imagining a white guy gets married to a black woman. They have children who are mixed race. And the dad is like, all right, now this is the only music that's going to be allowed to be heard in my house. Turns on the stereo, and immediately like, look at this photograph. Is that what he means? Did it cut out? Look at this photograph. I just love to imagine, like, there's like an interracial couple that has children, and like the white parent is like, no, you will live as white people now.
Okay.
Answer the question, because you're being a fucking liar right now. I responded to you earlier, or I responded to someone else earlier, and I said I wasn't against interracial relationships. Why are you lying?
Okay.
No, why? No, no. Let her fucking answer in tread zone. I want to hear this. I want to see this.
The loving black foundational American talks to his wife. I guess. Jesus Christ. Okay. How's everyone doing so far? I'm muted. You know, how is everyone?
Well, earlier, Eliza, you were fucking dogpiling me in the general chat. Do you not admit
Jesus
that?
fucking Christ.
Literally
Okay.
yesterday in the general
was
chat, when
literally
everyone was
supposed to be
dogpiling me. You were fucking
This was
right
supposed
there
to be
joining in.
all
You didn't go against it. You were with your socialist buddies and you were shitting on me. Don't you dare fucking lie and act like you weren't being hateful towards me in general chat when I called you out.
No, I'm not skipping this, Apillo. This is perfect. This is what you want. You need to... This is content.
On that shit. Why are you being so disingenuous? Why are you lying? Why are you lying, Eliza? You were being fucking hateful in general chat when you guys were dogpiling me. No, because this is every time I call this shit out. Every time I get dogpiled in this fucking community and I call it out, they say, no, I'm not being hateful. Why are you being hateful towards me? It's bullshit. I'm getting...
Wait, is this in my Discord server? Wait, was this all happening in my Discord? Holy shit. That's amazing. What a lovely Discord server I have. This is a fantastic advertisement for it. Oh.
tired of this. Because you guys do this all the fucking time whenever we're talking. You insult people, and when they insult you back, you
Good shit, Apillo. I'm glad you took my advice with Stream Beats.
fucking shut them. This is bullshit. I'm tired of this mindset in this community. Whenever somebody doesn't 100% agree with you, you shit all over them. I remember last time that fucking happened, I was told to suck a Nazi white cock, and I was told to go to hell. So no, you were being hateful, and you were among the fucking dog pile. I'm not taking shit out of fucking proportion.
Okay, I'm going to exercise.
You were among the dog pile.
I'm gonna exercise my mod powers real quick. Everyone who's not me or Walter, I'm gonna have to ask you all to kindly shut the fuck up and stop talking. And if anyone responds to this outside of Balthazar, because you're also an admin, I can't do that. If anyone else responds to this, even in text chat, I will fucking mute you. Got it?
Alright.
Got it.
Let's continue.
No dog piling people.
I got pissed off. I'm sorry, I got pissed off at that fucking comment.
You're fine. You're fine. Okay.
Fucking gaslighting. Alright, continue.
Okay, yeah. So
Zan, I'm a part of this. I see you in chat, Bal. I see a lot of my my normal regular viewers in chat. I see Aesthetically Sorrow was there. Gracie Gal was there. The Dark Canuck was there. Balth was there. I've seen a few people that are pretty recognizable. That I recognize you guys.
back to the FBA thing. Are you like a Tariq Nasheed watcher? Is that something, or?
A little bit of a Tariq Nasheed watcher. I don't agree with him 100%, but sometimes he does make good points, just like how I watch a few other people as well.
What do you agree with him?
That's the exact same response Andrew Tate fans give when you ask them if they like Andrew Tate. And it's also the exact same response Nick Fuentes fans give if you ask them if they like Nick Fuentes. Isn't that interesting? Just thought I'd let you guys sit with that for a bit.
Specifically on.
Well, I do agree that sometimes when Black Americans overly extend to other communities, we do get burned a lot of the times, where those communities don't appreciate what we do. The racism among those communities, to be precise, and it makes Black Americans feel very shitty. I do agree that Black Americans should be more proud of their heritage, and that we should identify as foundational Black Americans, and that we are not lost as a people. We have a culture, we have a people, we can trace our way back to what we were. We were slaves in America. That's what we were. We are not lost. We know what we are, and we are going to keep advancing as foundational Black Americans. That's what I took.
I mean, American culture is like mostly Black culture, isn't it? Like, I would argue that most of American culture at this point comes from, yeah, probably comes from Black people, generally speaking, especially historically speaking. If you want to really trace back the origins of stuff, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So I would argue that, like, yeah, that Black culture is sort of inherent to American culture, just very deeply. At least Black American culture is inherent in American culture.
His message. I don't agree with how he does shit on Africans sometimes and isn't for connecting with Africans who are not racist. I love Black people across the globe, and I'm not an isolationist when it comes to Black Americans and African Americans uniting.
Okay, so what? So what specifically do you agree with him on? Because you did say what you disagree with him on, but like,
yeah,
with the foundational Black American thing, you agree with him on that.
How... I agree that we should identify as foundation of Black Americans, as we did build this country off our own corpses and ancestors.
Okay, so
okay, I feel like that's a little stolen Valerie, a little bit. You know, like I get what the point of it is, but like, it was your ancestors, not exactly you specifically. All right, you're still alive. All right, you're not dead. Okay, if the state has you killed or something, and as a result of white supremacy and everything, well, I mean, then I guess. But I don't know. Like, it just feels like such weird LARPy language to me. I've always found it a little odd when this like monolithic terminology is used to refer to racial groups. It's always done by Nazis when it's done in regards to white people. Like, you never see a non-racist white person talking about like talking this way about being white. But sometimes it's not always the same thing the other way around, right? Because obviously a lot of white supremacy comes from a false premise that white people are being oppressed, and in reality Black people are being oppressed. And so, yes, some of the rhetoric can sound similar, but in one case it is valid, in the other it is not, just demonstrably speaking.
We are the foundation of this country. A lot of the buildings that you see, or the cities that you see, were built on the graves of Black slaves, aka our ancestors, our brothers, our sisters.
All right. Does
this guy watch my content? Like, I feel like the guy that Apilla is debating right now, I'm surprised they would be in my community and would watch my videos, you know? He watches? Yeah, like non-hate watcher? In fashion? Like, I feel like I've been pretty... Yeah? Huh. That's actually really surprising. I feel like Hotep adjacent people would fucking hate me. That's really weird. Yeah, it is definitely kind of weird. Not a bad thing. I mean, if anything, it's a good sign. But, yeah, TBH, no one in the online left has really railed against Hoteps. I feel like out of most content creators, I've done probably more than most. Like, I know that you've railed against Hoteps a lot. Vosh has a fair amount. I have, but, like, who else? Who else is really, like, willing to do that? Because it's immediate accusations of racism. Is Kanye Hotep? Kanye doesn't count. Shark? Oh, yeah, Shark, you're right. Sorry, I'm racist. You guys caught me again. Yeah, I don't know. Kanye's just a Nazi? Yeah. Sorry, hold on. Kanye doesn't count because not enough, like, he doesn't identify as a Hotep, and not enough people are drawing the connection between Kanye and Hotep. More people are just saying Kanye's a straight-up Nazi. he isn't even a Hotep, he's just a Nazi. I'd agree, yeah. I haven't seen Kanye say that much recently that sounds honestly coherent enough to even sound like anything that is supposed to be pro-black, right? It's all just like shit posting and JQ posting at this point. Like he's just a fully anti-Semitic at this at this rate. Yeah. Hoteps do support Kanye though, kinda. I mean, they would, right? Because, well, for starters, because he's a very famous, influential black man who's in favor of like very conservative politics, and he's like doing the whole the Jewish people are fucking over the black community thing. He's nearly there. I think he's even gone on rants about against gay people, right? He's transphobic and homophobic as well, right? I may be wrong on this, but I could have sworn he's gone on rants about this. I mean, he's hanging out with Nick Fuentes, so I don't know. And an ex-homosexualist Milo Yiannopoulos. Sorry, almost forgot. Ex-homosexualist.
Your opinion. Actually, let me ask. Have you ever heard of Fred Hampton by chance?
No, I have not. Who is this person you see?
Okay, Fred Hampton was, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, he was leader of...
I don't believe that. I barely know who Fred Hampton is, or was, and I, like, enough that, like, I know enough to understand this conversation. How can you be this involved and dedicated to racial politics and not know who Fred Hampton was? That's so weird. I mean, Fred Hampton's based, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe he wouldn't know because Fred Hampton was just too based. There was a little bit of cringe, but mostly based with Fred Hampton. I just don't know enough of the history behind him. I would like to know, though. That's something we'll have to do a research stream on. You guys gotta watch it, though. You guys can't do that shit where I'm like, hey, guys, if I do a research stream on this, will you watch it? And then you're like, yeah, we'll watch you research the civil rights movement. And I'm like, okay. And then we research it, and then if you guys are there, I'd be pretty disappointed in you guys if you didn't show up to school. Yeah, 5 viewers. I'd be pretty disappointed if you didn't show up to school. He was pretty interesting person, gone too soon. I feel like, wasn't he, like, killed? He was totally assassinated, wasn't it? You're older than he was when he was killed? What? I'm 23. Holy shit. God. Well, he would have turned police raid. Yep. Assassination, 100%. That sounds like an assassination. Executed at 21. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I had to research that.
He was leader of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party, like the OG Black Panther Party, and he formed the he got gatted by the feds because of course he did.
Oh well, there we go. We just needed to listen further into the debate.
But he formed the Rainbow Coalition, which was basically a coalition of black people as a part of the Black Panther Party, and also various other minority groups in Chicago, such as.
This was extremely based, by the way. This is what we call intersectionality, and that's what we want.
Hispanic minority groups, some Asian minority groups, although they were still mostly centered around the Western Coast at the time.
The point.
Yeah, things such as that. And my main question to you is, like, what would be your take on something like that, like a collaborationist group? Because I saw you say something earlier about like something like a Rainbow Coalition, and that you wouldn't. Let me look this up just to make sure.
In an ideal setting, in an ideal political climate, I would be totally for all minorities and Black Americans working together. Of course, I've already said that I'm for certain minorities working together. When it comes to the current state of LGBTQ community, I said realistically.
The cops claimed he was killed during a shootout, but he was shot in the shoulder before he was killed. He wouldn't have been able to hold a gun. Oh yeah, I've seen too many videos of the cops literally just straight up killing, like, unarmed, just anybody. Like, even if they're not black, they'll just, like, the really awful one, like the video that literally to this day, like, leaves me, like, with a shiver down my spine, is the video of the kid who was, like, maybe he was like 17. He was in high school, I think. He was on a date with his high school girlfriend, sitting in his car with his girlfriend while eating some fast food, like eating burgers in the parking lot of the fast food restaurant. Very lit up area. The cop approaches the car from behind and pulls out his gun. This is like, I'm describing like a camera footage. Like the guy had a camera on, vest camera. He approaches these two kids from behind. This was pretty recent, yeah. Approaches these two kids from behind, body cam, thank you, and just immediately starts unloading into the kid who's like, into the guy, like the 17-year-old guy who was eating his burger, who's in the driver's seat, because the cop had believed that car was a stolen one, so he immediately just opened, they were eating Taco Bell, yeah, just immediately opens fire, and the kid like is freaked out because he just got shot at, so he starts driving like 10 feet ahead, realizes it was a cop, and is like, oh, this must be a misunderstanding, so he stops the car and tries to call out to the cop, hey, stop, please, I'm friendly, like, stop, this is a misunderstanding. Like, you can hear him try to stop, but the cop keeps charging and shooting, and I think he killed him. I think he killed the kid. I think he might have even killed the girlfriend too. But yeah, the kid like sped away when he realized he was getting shot at, but then tried to stop to explain to the cop, wait, I'm a good guy, and then the cop gunned him down for it because he didn't drive away. If he had been, and the sad thing is, if the kid had hit the brakes and like really gotten out of there, he would have lived. It's because the kid saw that it was a cop and thought, oh, if I explain what's going on, he's a cop, he'll understand. The kid's fine. Okay, he didn't die. All right, good. Thank God. Holy shit. He would probably been much more all right, I guess, if he'd driven away, like pedal to the metal drive, because he probably had been taught that cops will keep you safe. He's disabled now, apparently. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I've seen so many videos like that there's no way. Like, I got the gut feeling that Fred Hampton was probably killed in cold fucking blood by the police. They're just, regardless of the situation.
It's not going to benefit us allying with them, in that most likely the fucking the conservatives are going to go away from the gays, and it's going to start associating us with the gays, and then we're going to get shot.
CIA?
I brought up the point about how Joe Biden, you can see, is...
Wouldn't it have been the FBI back then? Wasn't the FBI, like, weren't they the ones that really, really, really wanted to fuck over black civil rights movements? I mean, all of them did, but the FBI were the ones... Yeah, it was the FBI. Yeah, the FBI were the ones that were really on top of that shit. They were the... Yeah.
Planning on hiring 100,000 cops. You can see that 100,000 cops getting hired.
Wait. Question. One point at a time. One point at a time, please.
Yeah,
if I may ask, I never mentioned like gay people at all. I just said Rainbow Coalition, which is the term that Fred Hampton used.
Oh, my bad.
No. Actually, I would like to explore that, if I may.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on gay people? Because that just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was like
my opinion on gay people is a little bit not libertarian, but as long as they are not hurting people, I don't care who you're fucking.
Okay, and then what was the thing about like them, like us associating with them will just get us shot more? Like, what was with that?
Well, because right now in the current political climate, everyone is resurfacing, become anti-gay. You have a lot of conservatards and a lot of alt-righters that want to kill gay people because they think all gay people are groomers. Because a few teachers who...
Yeah, so we should all... like, yeah, so like black people, Hispanic people, gay people, trans people should all be part of like a intersectional movement that recognizes this one group wants us dead. Maybe we should work together so we're one massive fucking group of progressives fighting against these bigots. Yeah, rally around our enemy and fight back. I mean, that's the point. Holy shit. Can you imagine like watching Game of Thrones or something and being like, you know, I really think all these different groups of people need to not work together and continue fighting so that when the White Walkers come, they're completely unprepared to defend against this existential threat. Who watches Game of Thrones with that mindset? Apparently this guy does. I swear. Zan, you mean exactly what happened? I mean, but no one roots for that, right? Like, no one's rooting for them to continue to fight and not get together, realize they have a common enemy, and work together. Like, that's what you're rooting for them to do the opposite. The entire show, you want them to stop fighting. So they'll go to the wall and fight the massive undead zombie horde with their dragon riding queen. That's what you're just waiting for that the whole time.
Happen to be gay individuals groom children. And now they assume all gays groom children. So they're using the groomer narrative to kill gay people within their own communities. And if we associate with them, they'll say, oh, all black people are pedophiles. They support pedophiles. And they're going to start trying to kill us. You're going to have a call.
They're doing that with gay and trans people right now. If they escalated it to that, it would just result in them losing even faster. I've said this a million times. This conservative propaganda bubble that we're in is going to pop. It always does. It did last time, it did before that, and it did before that. And I'm sure there's been many times where conservative counterculture bullshit became popular in spaces that were meant to, you know, where people that were young were indoctrinated by propaganda. Can I join to debate? What? Debate me? We're watching a debate already. Or did you want to, like... I'm not in a debate right now. We're reviewing an already existing debate, if that's what you thought.
Colorado shooting, but for black people.
Hold up. You do realize that, like, they do that already. Like, the only reason why they're focusing... The only reason why they're focusing on gay people right now...
To be clear, that whole propaganda thing they're doing with, like, all gay people being groomers and all that they're doing, it's very effective right now, but it is going to blow up on them. There's only so long that a political party can just continuously pedo-jacket literally all gay people and trans people before it just starts to become like, oh, so you're just all a bunch of bigoted pieces of shit. The right has built up a lot of goodwill. God, I hope you're right. Obviously, I'm making pretty, you know, estimations of what I think will happen, but, I mean, look at my history when it comes to recognizing these things in the past. I think that this bubble's going to pop. And I think a large part of it comes from the fact that so many people on the right feel as though... so many people on the right have basically gotten a lot of goodwill built up for them by cancel culture, right? Cancel culture was basically the internet boogeyman for the last 4 years now, I'd say. Every normie content creator, every like random person, everybody was scared of being canceled. Everybody was scared of their favorite content creators, their favorite celebrities being canceled. Everybody was upset about this or that, right? The right built up so much goodwill, culturally speaking, because of the whole cancel culture boogeyman. Now they are spending that goodwill. They're spending it with all of their crazy political stunts and all of their insane, hyper hateful propaganda. They built up a lot of goodwill, but they're also now degrading that goodwill. I think the Andrew Tate arrest is going to do a big part in this. I think Elon Musk's failure to manage Twitter properly is going to play a big part in this. And, yeah. And now the cancel culture thing is slowly becoming a meme too. Remember when PC culture was the big boogeyman? Most of you don't even remember it. But back in the day, there was this term called PC culture. By back in the day, I mean, I guess the term originates from like the 80s, but really became popular in 2014, 2015, 2016. The idea was that these politically correct SJW college students with their PC culture, ironic how much it sounds like cancel culture, right? We're coming to take away your free speech and destroy you for disagreeing with them. It's just the same shit. And they were able to get really big off that narrative for a while, but then the bubble popped. They realized, wait a second, we're just being propagandized to and lied to. These are just like videos of random college students freaking out. It's not that big a deal. And a lot of them grow out of it. E.g. search fucking how I left the alt-right rabbit hole on YouTube and look at the results that don't come from my channel. I've got my big video, but there's a lot of other ones on YouTube that you probably haven't seen. And most of it comes from people realizing, holy shit, the stuff these right-wing demagogues are spewing towards me doesn't matter. It's all bullshit.
As they are, like, as a group, gay people are the group to shit on. Like queer people in general are the
Yeah,
group
yeah,
to shit on.
and
Right
yeah,
now.
and I know that a lot of them are targeting blacks, but I prefer not being targeted more because we're actively associating with them. A lot of them do
So
want to
you're
target
willing
blacks.
to shy off a group so that they can get shit on. Like you do realize what's gonna happen whenever, like in the
So this is one of those moments where it's good to start piling up quotes that are really effective. You know, this kind of reminds me of this. First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. And then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. And then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak for the and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. That's the poem. It's about the Holocaust. It's about the Holocaust. So I think that very great minds who have seen very significant political events historically have basically come to the conclusion that this mindset is garbage a long time ago. I disagree with you, Zan, and as a black woman, I find your talking points insidiously harmful. Oh shit, that's spicy. Okay, maybe later in the stream or on another stream we can debate. I have been live for 5 hours, actually. Literally 5 hours and 22 seconds, and we've got a while to go here, so stick around.
event that all queer people get wiped out in the United States, you do realize who's next, right? Like all
Yeah,
you're gonna
I
be
do
doing is
realize
buying
that.
time.
Buying time. What do you mean buying time? I said, well, they
Also, joke's on you. You watching my stream actually makes me not racist, so I win the debate automatically.
are focusing on their own issues. If black individuals want to help them, that's fine. But I want the majority of us to focus on our community and getting shit handled with. So in the case that they do target us, we're properly ready and we're not easily being knocked down. If we do get to an ideal point, where black and gays and other minorities can work together, then sure.
Okay.
But in this current climate, I prefer we focus and fix these issues that we have in our community to some extent. Why not
This is the same dumb shit that, like, true scums say about non-binary people, and that, like, gatekeeping non-binary people say about people who use neopronouns. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. Don't give these bigots an inch, okay? I'm talking to everybody who disagrees with me on this, okay? The people that want to oppress you, you cannot give them an inch. When they take a win against another group of people that is not you, that is them getting a win against you because they have gained more power. And that is power they need to take your rights away. Guess what? If it came down to a situation where, like, most gay people in this country had to fight in favor of, like, black civil rights or not, they would probably fight in favor of black civil rights. Because most LGBT people in this country are familiar enough with how it feels to be discriminated against, obviously not all, that they're generally pretty, like, engaged with the idea that there needs to be a pretty multi-pronged approach to attacking the right and the bigots that basically unanimously leverage their power against marginalized groups to take their rights away. You can't do it alone. That's the point. No one can do it alone.
just extending a hand to another community while we still have shit going on in our own?
Okay, so you do realize that you can focus on multiple issues facing multiple groups at once, right?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes.
I've seen the black community.
We are
I've seen the
very
black
capable
community.
of doing that.
I've seen the black community. I've seen the black community try to do
what's
that, and they get burned a lot.
What is this argument? I've seen the black community. Okay, like I could make the same argument. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people in the black community who are really homophobic. Yeah, I think that's a problem. I think that we should fight against that. And so people who are homophobic in the black community are less homophobic and more likely to agree with the left and join in a political movement that is fighting against, in large part, racism. Both interpersonal, social, sort of societal, general racism, as well as actual, like, institutionalized racism, right?
the time.
Yeah, yeah, people get burned. That's the thing about politics. Whenever you're fighting against fascists, especially fascists that hold a majority of the political power in this country, yeah, you're gonna get burned. But that doesn't mean
that's the point. This is exactly the point I made before, by the way, about how it's like chemotherapy. There are downsides. Bad things will happen from fighting against racism, but just like chemotherapy needed to cure cancer, there's a little bit of pain you have to go through in order to destroy an evil, and that evil is racism. And that's going to mean that there's going to be racial tension. There's going to be demagogues that are going to throw the black community in as, like, woke. Yeah, there's going to be racists that say black people are woke, and so's being gay, and all woke stuff is pedo and evil and destroying society. Guess what? I am certain that the black community not liking the other groups that racists and bigots throw them in with as woke won't matter to the racists and the bigots. It won't. It doesn't matter to them. No, like, disconnecting of one group from another group is going to make it so the bigots that consider all of them subhuman are going to change their mind, okay? That's not how it works. They'll allow certain individuals to become spokespeople for them, but they will not allow it to happen on a broader social level. The right's end goal is not for us to have, like, a completely straight, like, do you really think that there are that many conservatives out there that are, like, authoritarian with their beliefs, that are totally fine with, like, once all the gay and trans people are gotten rid of and everything, they're totally cool with racial equality, you know? Not immigration, they're not cool with that, but, like, once like they've genocided all the gays and everything, their plan is just, yeah, we're cool with black people. Yeah, no, it's all good as long as they're not gay. Yeah, like, no, most of the conservatives who want to go that far, and a lot of them do, definitely care if you're black, or if you're Hispanic, or if you're Asian, or if you're from fucking Canada. Well, yeah, no, definitely if you're from Canada too. They want to kill you for your Canadian maple syrup blood.
That you should let other groups burn, because that just means that we're going to be next. When those groups are gone, we're next.
Did I say I want that group done? I said the majority of us should focus on getting our shit done. Reparations, all that shit that we want to advocate for.
We can get our shit done while helping other people get their shit done.
And any black individual who wants to help those gay groups or gay minorities can. But I, among others, want to focus on fixing our shit and getting our shit to the point where we can help these communities properly and have a decent voice along with them.
Okay.
What issues need to be sorted out, and on what time scale? Because this sounds, ironically enough, like the white moderate talking point. Like, yeah, I agree with what you believe, but it's inconvenient, and there are people that are pushing back against us really bad right now. So let's push fighting for your rights back to a more convenient date. That'd be Pog. Let's just push it back, right? That's a good point, Zan. This guy is a white moderate. This guy is the white moderate. El Pillow debates the CEO of the white moderate.
So what's your opinion on people who are in both groups? Yeah, who like exist in both groups, and they kind of don't want to die based on either group identity.
If they are in both groups, they can support both groups if they want to as individuals, and that may be a help. But at some point, you're going to focus on more of another group than another. You're going to have those.
That's not necessarily true.
That's human nature. One group, if they ask you to do something, another group asks you to do something. How are we going to do this properly without all of us getting killed?
Okay, so it's slightly related to this. So, like, you support black feminism, right? I
support second and first wave feminism when it comes to black feminism.
Okay, so what's your opinion on women like Angela?
Oh, we're getting okay. So this is just a like anti-SJW take here. This is like a bog standard Gamergate tier anti-SJW take of like. So for those of you guys that don't know, a very common and popular talking point was that that like anti-SJW types would say back in the day was, we don't disagree with feminism and what it's supposed to mean. Like, we believe in equal rights and all of that. So like first and second wave feminism, it's just this new third wave feminism that's all about hating men and BuzzFeed and all that. We just don't agree with that. We don't like third wave. It's very much like a 14-year-old that just found out about politics via YouTube videos kind of take.
Davis, who both focused on race and being a woman and the oppression at the intersection of both of those groups. Do you think Angela Davis was focusing on mostly women or mostly black people?
I have a question for you. I have a question. does she mainly, when she's making these points, what does she point to? What are her arguments? I haven't heard this person. What are her arguments, and how does she propose herself? Because I've seen a lot of black feminists nowadays who just shit on black men or make points towards black men within our community.
Yeah, in actual, like, academic spaces, my understanding is it's actually second wave feminism is the one that was mostly focused on white, wealthy women, like wealthy white women, and was very bougie and just not... It's like the turfy wine mom feminism tier of, like, the 18 to 1900s, basically. Yeah, career woman, like, Yas Queen kind of shit. And that stuff's still around now, but, like, third wave feminism, I'd argue third wave feminism nowadays is more of, like, the intersectional based shit, you know? Like basically what any cis woman who would identify as a feminist, I guess you don't need to be a cis woman, but I mean, that's, like, the stereotype, right? Cis woman, feminist, like we're drawing, like, the direct comparison, right? Like, if you grabbed, like, a random cis woman from my chat, like, their ideals are pretty fucking based. I'd say that's probably third wave feminism, like the intersectional, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's generally what I'm speaking of.
And hating them.
Okay,
I want to do that. Remember your Cynthia G's and this other woman that I saw on Destiny stream?
I do wish we could go back to when it was just atheism versus religion. To fight on the side of atheism, obviously, because fuck religion.
A while back, who hated black men. She said she was a feminist, and there was a white feminist in there who was supporting every point she made. Her name was Lad Loon, some fucking...
Well, listen, trust me, I have never heard of that person. I'll probably not agree with her. Okay. I do actually have a question, though.
A lot of black women I've seen in those communities, and Cynthia G's communities, are black feminists. They identify as black feminists.
If I may ask, do you know who Angela Davis is?
No, I do not.
So, do you consider yourself a black liberationist? Or, like, someone who believes in black liberation?
I do believe in that.
So, you believe in black liberation, and you've never heard of Angela Davis?
No, I have not. I don't.
That is very interesting. Angela Davis isn't like...
I've heard of Angela Davis, but I don't know who she is. At least not by name. Damn it. I've been proven racism again. Proven racism. I've been proven racist again. I probably do, but not by name. She's pretty cool. Angela Davis is one of the most famous people to ever live in America. Then I definitely know who she is, and I'm just not, like, connecting the dots right now because I'm literally stoned as fuck. Famous prison abolitionist. What time period are we talking about? Like the 60s? 50s? 70s? That's the time period I'm sort of imagining right now. Well, the civil rights era, you could say, is always happening. Yeah, like, definitely, yeah. This person has already not known who Fred Hampton is and doesn't know who Angela Davis is and is taking these very, like, gatekeepy positions. This is like if I brought in somebody who wanted to argue with me about how I'm not a real leftist and was like, okay, so Trotsky said, and they're like, who's Trotsky? And I was like, that's the equivalent of what's happening here, pretty much.
Some tiny person. She is a pretty
Do you know who Vosh is? Who's Vosh? Okay, and you're saying I'm not a real leftist.
Notable advocate.
So, is it my fault for not knowing whom she is?
Kinda, yeah, because it seems like you got most of your information from the internet and specific internet groups if you've never even heard of Angela Davis.
What do you mean specific internet groups? What do you mean by that?
Oh, you know what groups I'm talking about.
No, what groups are we talking about? Just
yeah, the Tariq Nasheed groups, the fucking Dr. Umar groups. Yeah, those people in particular. Listen, dude, I already checked your vibe. I knew who you were going into this. No, because I know exactly what kind of groups you're in. You're in the kind of groups who want to promote yourself.
Dr. Umar and Tariq Nasheed fan. You're a liar. I'm not subscribed to any of them. I don't go.
Yeah, but you do occasionally listen to their videos and occasionally agree with them. Yeah, okay, that's what they all say. Listen, because when it comes down to it, the fact of the matter is, I know what kind of person you are.
I would have lasered down on what did he mean by separating, like, mixed race kids from black culture. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, that's so bizarre. Like, the implication that there's some standard on how individual families ought to handle, like, if like, it's so weird. Like, like, there shouldn't be some kind of, like, obviously there should be a standard to some extent. We shouldn't, obviously there are areas where there are boundaries and lines that shouldn't be crossed, but I don't think we should be setting standards for, like, how interracial couples have to handle raising their kids for it to be moral. Like, they have to have a certain amount of exposure to black culture. What the fuck does that even mean? I would have loved to hear more about that. That would have been an interesting lane to go down. It's so problematic. Dude, Hoteps always give the word, like, it always comes around to be, it's bizarre because colorism. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about colorism, okay? So here's my perspective as a white boy who's just kind of seen some shit, I guess. In mainstream culture, colorism is very prevalent in the black community. It's very, 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 very big problem. In modern, like, popular culture, there's a lot of colorism against, like, dark-skinned black people. Like having darker skin as opposed to, like, lighter skin, being, like, mixed race or whatever, is, like, seen as less perfect or beautiful as having, like, lighter skin. That's very common in acting and in modeling. And, you know, this is just not really, this isn't like a groundbreaking fact. I think most people here probably know about this. But then you've also got almost, I would guess, and I'm saying this from the outside in the black community, almost like an overreaction to that, where there will be a lot of colorism towards mixed-raced, lighter-skinned black people. So, for example, if you've got, like, if I've got some black viewers in chat right now who maybe have, like, older grandparents that are like this, maybe if you've ever, like, tried to date a mixed race or white or non-black girl and then grandparents or parents lost their shit about it because they didn't want mixed race grandbabies. That I've heard that quote before said in front of me to a friend of mine because of who he was dating. And I was too young to understand what was going on, but, you know, that's a thing. That's a thing. And it's bizarre to see that we're basically just feeding into colorism on either side of that. It's cringe. There is literally internal racism within the black community. So we can't do this whole, like, you can't start to give an inch to people like this who want to start drawing lines, because now you're going to start to get into this shit, right? Where, like, are we going to start considering people who are light skinned less black or not really black? Like, oh God. Please, just don't be cringe about it. As a mixed race grandbaby can confirm. Yeah, it's sad.
You don't believe in black liberation. You feel like you have been spurred by a society. That's why your entire that's why you were crapping on West Africans earlier. The fact of the matter is because you feel no, you were saying many. I had to call you on that many times before you went back to the racist point, because you and I both know what you're actually talking about. You don't feel any connection to these groups. You hate these groups. You don't like these groups. You don't like these groups. That's why you're pointing to them and you're going, oh, well, this group has done yada yada yada, and it only takes someone like me to point out, hey, maybe don't say all of those things about these groups. You are not a black liberationist.
So don't call out the issues within these groups and what the racism within these groups.
No, you can call out the issues in those groups, but the way that you were doing it sure seemed to be looking like you were pointing to those groups. I can pull up a specific message if you want.
At what point did I say that I hated all West Africans? That I hated all of them?
You quite actually. Wait, hold up. One second.
Show me, like, show a screenshot. No, show a screenshot.
Show a screenshot?
Yeah, say where I hated all of them. Like, all of them. All West Africans.
Yeah, I actually have a screenshot that's pretty interesting.
Holy shit, a little tablet. That's actually really handy.
That I don't fuck with all West Africans. That I hate them, and I hate Africa as a continent. Where did I say that I hated all? Where did I say that?
That feels slimy. That feels slimy. You said I don't fuck with all West Africans. That's like... If somebody said, I don't fuck with all gay people, I don't fuck with all trans people, it's like, why are you saying that? It's a Galaxy Fold? Oh, cool. Like, why are you saying that in the first place is my main question. Like, what led you to say, yeah, I don't like to hang out and engage with and like you know, consort with some people of this race. It's like, why'd you lead with that? Like, that feels like you're prepping to be able to walk that back if somebody interprets it in a way that you don't want them to you know, see, right? Or pushes back on it, I guess. I don't know. Poor wording is what is best case scenario there.
Why don't you show it?
Yep.
Because I don't remember saying that I hated all of them as a whole. I was against the ones who call us fucking Akatas and fucking cotton pickers. And I already said that I was fine for having black allies. So why are you strawmanning me?
I did.
You keep having this.
No, dude. It's because of your language. It's because of your language. Okay, dude. If you keep shouting, okay, I need to be able to get a point out. If you keep shouting, I'm gonna mute you. If you keep shouting, I'm gonna mute you, dude. I need to be able to get a point out. Okay. So, like, I'm gonna have to ask you for 1 second, my kind friend. Express like some church-like silence and let me speak right quick. Okay. What I'm reading you as is someone who looks at black liberationism as an aesthetic, and you try to achieve it through shitting on other groups, and it only takes someone else to call you out on your rhetoric, your very bad rhetoric, which is why I posted that, because it very clearly seems like you type that out, and then you're like, oh wait, fuck, actually I have to, like, specify, because you don't know your language, you don't know your rhetoric, you don't know you don't even know who the fuck Angela Davis is. I'm not saying that you have to, like, read her fucking books, but you don't.
Angela Davis
you should at least have heard of her. You should have at least have heard of her. You should have at least have heard of her. If you don't even know who she is, then you are not a black liberationist.
So I have to hear of this person to be a black liberationist.
No, you should at least know about them. That's the thing about it. Because you don't know these groups. You get all of your rhetoric from people like Tariq Nasheed, sad little men.
I would personally say, I mean, I think that, like, not knowing who Fred Hampton was is a little bit more, like, scathing, right? Like, I feel like, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Well, no, for like for what he's trying to claim, like, because he's trying to claim that he's like a black liberationist and everything, and that he's like woker than thou and all that. He's doing that kind of bit. Then yeah, he should definitely know. Both are scathing. Yeah.
Who sit in their rooms all day and yell at women because they have nothing better to do with their lives. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly the type of people that you are because I've dealt with thousands of them.
So you think that I'm just a fucking Kevin Samuels?
Yes, literally, that is what you read me as. You can say that you love one group and then shit on them immediately. One of Hitler's best friends was a gay man.
At what point did I say that I hated black women? If I hate them so fucking much, Pillow, show me where I said
You don't have to say it for it to be communicated.
Dude. You know Hitler was getting that Hitlerusy fucked nonstop, right? Just knowing what we know about modern day Nazis, you know Hitler was getting his little German Nazisy absolutely demolished by some big girthy German schnitzel. No, listen, guys. There's no way anything has changed. Nothing else has changed. That has not. That definitely has not.
How has it been communicated?
How's it been communicated? Well, we can go back to that whole. I don't like it whenever black women say bad things about black men.
No, shut the fuck up. Show me communicating where I said that I hated black women and I don't like them in my fucking language. Show me.
Okay, come on, calm down for a second. Okay. You okay?
Yeah, Aaron's
you good? Type if you're good. Type if you're good. Type if you're good, sweetheart. Just say you're good. Just say if you're good. Sweetheart, yeah, I can call you sweetheart, I can call you sugar plum, I can call you sugar tits, I can call you whatever the fuck I want.
Whoa!
We can keep going at this. So are you good for me to unmute you? And can we talk calmly? Please. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, I have my hand on the button, in case I need to point it out.
Literally, I'm just saying this right now because you literally started shouting.
One second, sweetheart, 1 second. Okay. The reason why I started shouting is because you started talking over me, like you just started doing that. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop doing that, buddy. Can we do that? Can we do that? Give me a yes. Come on. You're a big boy. I know you can do it. Just continue
He's
the convo.
so
yeah,
mad.
We can continue the convo.
He's definitely getting mad.
Without getting interrupted. That's all I need. Okay, cool. Shut the hell up and unmute me and speak. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Thank you. I love you. Love you, buddy. Black man to black man, I love you. Okay. Listen, I'm trying to help you. Because I almost fell down the same path myself. Almost. but I stopped myself. Okay? So, to me, yeah, and this is entirely to me, it seems like your entire knowledge of Black
Gotta take a
liberation
sippy.
and the Black Power
I should take a
movement
sippy, too.
in general has come from specific people on the internet who harp that aesthetic to fill their pockets. That's it. That's what it comes down to. You don't actually believe in Black liberationism. You don't believe in Black power. You don't believe in Black solidarity. If you did, you would support a bit of intersectionalism. That's why I brought up Fred Hampton and the Rainbow Coalition earlier, because the fact of the matter is, it takes multiple groups of people working together to fight against oppression. You can't just focus on one group at a time. You can focus on specific issues and groups. But, stop talking over me. Stop talking over me, please. Okay, we good? Okay. A rising tide brings up all ships, and that is something that you are clearly trying to shy away. That is why, and don't speak over me, because I'm about to go into this, yeah? That is why
I'm going to pause it for just a second, because I just want to give a little bit of meta commentary here. There is only two logical pathways this person can be operating on. Either they have a lot of internalized, hatred or bigotry towards gay people, trans people, etc. The groups that he has a problem with, right? And that he does, in fact, have definitely a bigger problem with interracial couples than he's willing to voice publicly, maybe. These could all be the cases, and he's engaging in really bad faith and lying. And he's really scared to tussle with the idea that intersectionality has like an objectively and demonstrably positive impact on any civil rights movement's struggle for rights. Like, obviously having, like, if you're going to, like, obviously the left, the progressive movement, being as large as possible and tackling as many of these issues and advocating for as many people as possible is going to be a good thing. Who is this streamer? I assume you're talking about a pillow here on stream, or on screen. I'm going to do a little pillow. There we go. If you check my website, chat, that link right there is a link to a Pillow's channel. You guys should go subscribe. They're a fan and friend of mine. And, yeah, just friend of the stream, does some good content. We're watching a little bit of it right now. Really cool.
We're pointing to very vast... You are using very vast language to describe specific...
We'll also have a pillow on the Zomboid server, I believe. The Project Zomboid server we're setting up, so that's going to be pretty awesome.
Groups. You weren't saying, until I corrected you on this, you weren't saying racist Hispanics. You were saying many Hispanics. You weren't saying racist Nigerians, you were just saying Nigerians, and I can bring up the messages, because you were saying this until I got... What? Wait, hold on. Come on, dude. I was really just about to finish my point, okay? I'll tell you when I'm done. Okay? That's why you were saying just Nigerians, and again, I can bring up specific messages if you want. The fact of the matter is, you do not come off to me as someone who actually supports Black liberation. You seem like someone who has been wronged by...
So either, as I said before, they're a liar and in bad faith, or, and that's why they don't want to tackle with the fact that intersectionality is a good thing, or they're genuinely just misled and don't get it. Like the guy that Apillo's debating might just not get it and just can't comprehend the idea that intersectionality is just objectively a better way of handling these bigoted societal structures and institutional structures. Lefty streamer with orange and green lighting when? Orange and green lighting. Like the Nickelodeon slime? Like the Nickelodeon colors?
Groups before, which I can believe. Yeah, I've been wronged by groups before. But then instead of internalizing that and going, okay, that was one bad person, but at the same time, I'm not going to cast aspersions on wide groups, that's what you end up doing. You end up casting aspersions on wide groups, which communicates to me, and I'm almost done, it communicates to me that either A, you really don't like these groups and you're playing cover for doing that by saying, oh, I love these groups. Actually, I just have issue with some of their aspects, and it only takes someone calling you on that for you to say, oh, I only have an issue with some of their aspects. Either that, or, alternatively, you're just not good at rhetoric at all, and you should probably stop talking about politics before you end up pissing someone off inexorably and getting your shit rocked for accidentally saying something that you didn't mean. Okay? I'm done.
All right. You finish your point. Now, when I start talking, I better not hear you utter a fucking word. All right, let me finish a point.
Yes,
if I hear you cut me off, I'm gonna leave this. Don't call me Slayer. Shut the fuck up. If I hear you cut me off a single time, I'm gonna leave this VC and we're not gonna talk. Because anytime I do talk in this server, and I try to be reasonable with my rhetoric, I try to be reasonable. You guys keep poking and poking. Some of you will take bites out of me and fucking insult me. Nook, you're responsible for this. Marshall, you were involved with that. A few other of you that I can name were involved.
Nook made a cute little house on my Christmas server.
Even Eliza, though, she'll fucking lie about it. But whenever I do that, and I get angry and I start fucking going off, you guys act like I'm going off the rails. Now, to go off my points earlier, when you brought up that screenshot about Nigerians, you said I was fucking up when I said, oh, not all. You said I was saying that to clarify. In that screenshot, I said not all Africans, just Nigerians, due to them being the reason for our ancestors being slaves. Now, maybe I was wrong in that message, and the context of that message looks fucked to a lot of people. I should have clarified that by saying racist Nigerians. Probably. I was fucked on that, so I'll concede on that. But to say that I'm against black liberation, and that I'm not pro-black, and that I'm against this and that, when I've literally said that I concede, and in an ideal situation, I'd want a lot of groups to work together, and I said in the current climate, I'm not for that. I'm for the community. As it is right now, for the most part, majority of us, maybe a few can help, and I never said I was against that. A few can help these other groups, but right now, I want us to start focusing on our...
This is like you're playing Age of Empires. Like you're playing Age of Empires, and you're dividing your forces to like defend certain gates of your city. And it's like, how the fuck does this even work? Like, what is the point of this take other than to demonstrate that you might have a problem with gay people and the other groups that you feel that the black community should not be quote unquote focusing their attention on advocating for? Group 1, go defend black people. Group 2, you're a lot smaller. You go to the gays. Group 3, all right, you're going to defend Hispanic people. Group 4, trans people. Like, I don't even... What is this shit? It's like an RTS.
Groups and the issues of our infrastructure. A lot of black communities don't have black infrastructure. Don't have black people to employ them within some of these communities. And I'm for us fixing those issues on our own, without any outside help or government aid or government reliance. Okay? So let me clarify that. You're not gonna go here and compare me to a fucking Kevin Samuels fanboy, all right? There's nothing wrong with my rhetoric besides this entire space being toxic toward any idea that does not fully follow in with it. And when I get pissed off and I start accidentally fucking up, you guys bite out of me. So no, I'm gonna clarify this right now. Do not ever say that I'm against pro-black liberation or that I am not for my people. Okay, that's what you're not going to do, and you're not going to call me a Tariq Nasheed fanboy. I've listened to Tariq Nasheed. I've disagreed with him about black women. I've disagreed with him a lot, and I know that a lot of these figures can be grifters. Tariq Nasheed is not for black people unifying. I'm for us unifying with black people that are within our interests, within the black population across the world globally's interests. So don't do that. Don't do that again, Pillow, because I'm going to call you out every fucking time, just like I did to Saru. Are we clear about that, okay? Sunshine, okay?
Yes, honey.
We clear on that?
Yes, honey.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So with that being said, again, intersectionality is kind of a thing that you need to do if like you want to rise against an oppressive system. Intersectionality usually fucking helps.
Oh, pathetic friend. Okay, Nick. Okay, hold
on. Whoa. Hold up now.
No. I fucking saw it.
Wait.
You want to talk shit?
Wait.
No. This fucking Canadian. No. I've been hating this guy since day fucking one. He's been on my ass.
Okay, me and you. Don't pay attention to Chud Zone. Don't pay attention to Chud Zone. Just me and you. Everyone else doesn't exist. I'm gonna have to ask everyone.
I told you. No one likes the Canadians. I'm pretty sure he said something about you can like something insulting about Canada and being Canadian.
Everyone else to shut the fuck up in Chud Zone. Everyone, including you, Balf. I love you, but including you. We can't keep getting sidetracked, please.
Oh, it was Balf.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, please continue.
No, this guy's insanely nationalistic.
With your point, if you'd like.
Holy shit, this is so frustrating to listen to. I'm having a great time.
You literally, I'm not saying that I'm against us being intersectional, but I'm actually advocating, not supporting people who want to get a black infrastructure done, who want to get black communities to be more connected, and less outwardly focus on other social or political issues within other communities, that we need to start focusing on that, so that the next
I haven't seen one of these erasers since I was in school. So wild. I remember you'd like pull one of those things, like you'd get a fresh one of these things and it's like you'd smell it and you just like rub your fingers across one of those like a nice fresh one, squeeze a little bit because it's so rubbery, and you do not want to like use it And then when you did finally use it, you'd want to like use your nail to like get like the gross like the shaving, like the bits that you've like the graphene, I think it's called, that you've swept up. You'd like wipe it off with your nails so you can keep it as clean as possible. I don't know if I was the only one who did that. I'd like rub it with my finger to sand it down to smooth it out. Bro, so many memories are coming back to me right now just from seeing that eraser. Of course, Zan smelling erasers. No, it's like when you see a fresh dollar bill, like when you get out like one of those fresh erasers, and like, you know, it's been a month since you've seen one of these. The teacher just got new ones. You grab a new one. It's like smelling a new pack of cigarettes. You're like, nice. You know, it's how you test to see if it's good.
Generation isn't in the same position we are in, so that the next generation can have decent jobs or decent way of fucking life. Don't ever say that I'm not pro-black liberation.
Okay.
Just because I don't know some random figure.
Okay, I'm not going to say about you're not pro-black liberation. I'm just going to say about you don't understand black liberation as a concept. I'm just going to go for that from now on. Yeah.
You literally went to a rant, literally belittling every facet of my belief, and just called me a fucking Kevin Samuels fanboy. That's what you did. Just let you know that.
You speak like, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, so I hate black women, and I fuck.
Well, no, not necessarily. Actually, wait, no, I never specifically mentioned.
You know Kevin Samuels. You know Kevin Samuels died fucking a Latino person, right? He was not.
Wait, he died having sex?
They got him.
Black community anyway. Yeah,
good for him.
No,
actually,
he was not pro-black in any regards. He did not like the black community in any regards. Maybe he made a few money off of it, but he was not for it.
Yeah, kind of like Tariq Nasheed and his whole fucking like what's your opinion on like the buckbreaker thing from Tariq Nasheed?
What'd you say?
What's your opinion on like Tariq Nasheed's whole buckbreaker thing? Yeah.
Buckbreaker? You talking about when they call people getting buck breaking or something?
Yeah. What's your opinion? Like, he made a whole fucking movie off of it. I think he made like a lot of money.
What is that movie? From all I could tell from like the title is I assumed it was going to be interracial gay porn with a lot of BDSM themes. Am I right? It's bad? Homophobia? Well, I know that. It's about how gay people cause slavery. Hold on. I need to show you the fucking poster for this movie. Okay, hold on. Yeah, show me the one that yeah, not the one that they ended up rolling with later on. Show me that original concept Tariq Nasheed tweeted. Yeah. Okay. I saw this and I was like, yeah, this is going to be pornography, right? Like this is Tariq Nasheed like basically putting to screen his fantasies that he's been talking about all this time. Like, yeah, I mean, several of you in chat are horny, so I think you guys, I think that makes my point correct.
Off of it.
Are you talking about when he specifically targets black people who quote unquote buck break?
Well, I mean, that movie, if I'm remembering correctly, was like specifically against like.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, I haven't really, like I said, I'm not a big follower of Tariq Nasheed, so can you provide what he was saying or the context? I've only watched a few videos of his as reference.
Does it mean to be gay?
Ass movie. I don't know.
Just give me a TLDR of the entire points that he made, and I could say how I believe them or whatever.
Basically, it was a movie that took like the sexual abuse that a lot of black people faced during slavery and tried to transform that into like a wider conspiracy about how the modern queer movement is actually trying to like disempower black men from fighting up against oppression. It was like 2 steps away from like blaming Jewish people for it. Like it was a weird fucking movie.
Well, I don't really know much about that topic, and I don't have any support for gay people, in my personal opinion. So I don't really know. I don't hate gay people, and if his point was that gay people bad, then Tariq Nasheed was wrong on that point, I guess.
Okay, so
I do believe that within this video that I saw that I'm not in the case of Ye, who had a very big schizo rant. I hated that a lot of Jewish people within their community were grouping all black people. I thought that we were all going to start hating Jewish people just because Kanye said that, or that we hated Jewish people. A lot of us don't, and a lot of us did condemn.
You know what this reminds me of? Like, no, this is not like a thing that anyone on the left or I don't think anybody, like any large amount of Jewish people were doing. But ironically enough, the right absolutely loved doing that when it came to Asian American hate crimes. Remember when like all Fox News would like focus on and all Tucker Carlson would focus on for like 3 months straight was like they dig around for like TikTok clips and Twitter videos of like a black person saying something racist to like an Asian American on the subway or whatever about like COVID or something, and it'd be like they'd be like, really strange how the black community is so okay and the left is so fine with this racism, and then they go on to call like COVID the Kung flu on the next segment because they don't actually care, they're just virtue signaling. Yeah, like that shit, that was their jam for like 3 straight months on Fox News and Tucker Carlson's show, just like basically trying to claim that like there was this massive epidemic of black people attacking Asian Americans, and the hate crime increase against Asian Americans was because of black people attacking them. That was legitimately like a popular conservative talking point, like when COVID was really, really getting big. I remember that. Yeah. It was probably a year and a half ago now. It's been a hot minute, so some of you might not have been super into politics then, but yeah, it was a big thing.
Ye, or Kanye, whatever the fuck he calls himself, rightfully so. And that a lot of it was being overplayed, that we were all going to normalize anti-Semitism, when a lot of us, including myself, were making fun of Ye for going on a fucking schizo rant and a 3-hour rant about loving Hitler.
Okay.
I did agree on that some people within the Jewish community didn't have a lot of faith in us as black Americans to realize that Ye was being retarded on his bullshit. That's when I remember when Ye said that as soon as I remember we used to love Kanye, as soon as we saw him wearing that MAGA hat unironically and hugging with.
We're watching a pillow debate, a self-described, definitely not a Tariq Nasheed fan, definitely not a Hotep, definitely not in any way racially in their beliefs sussy-wussy. So we'll see what happens here, because it's already gotten pretty sussy-wussy so far. Yeah, this is a Pillows debate. For those that don't know, you guys should all sub to a Pillow. And Demon Mama. Go subscribe to Demon Mama. Congrats on 80K. It was an achievement. Let's go! Yeah! I'm super hyped about it. Thank you guys so much for your support. And as I said before, cool, I'm playing modded Minecraft. Wait, Demon Mama, you're playing modded Minecraft now? Oh, you should have joined the 12 Days of Christmas server. Listen, if you want to join the Project Zomboid server we're making, it's heavily modded. And it's going to be really good. We're bringing a lot of people. We might get Surus in as well. I think Surus said he's interested, so that should be cool. Yeah, we just want to get a whole lot of people in. I wanted to, but I was so busy. I understand that. Also, Christmas time isn't for like Christmassy stuff. Not everyone's a super huge fan of it. Oh, there we go. Nice back crack. But yeah, Zomboid is going to be pretty amazing if you want to join that, Demon Mama. We're going to have like a pretty massive player count or player cap on that. Oh, quick stun lock. My server dev got the hardware, pretty much all the hardware assembled for a full-on like hosted like server rack, pretty much not a server rack, like a pretty insane computer for running servers on. It's gonna be insane. Like we're gonna be able to have like a few hundred people on Zomboid, maybe more. So I now pretty much have like the most powerful computer you could have for running any game server, particularly a Minecraft server, at my disposal now, with Hash Hosting's help. And it was a little bit pricey, but Hash was able to find a price for that stuff that was like way cheaper than typically you would have to get, and it was definitely a good investment. Because I mean, look at how great it's been for the community so far. You guys loved 12 Days of Christmas. It was awesome. And now that we have that hardware, we can just boot it up and do whatever whenever we need a server for anything in the future. Can I play if I suck at it? Yeah. Well, that's sick. Cool, I've never played Zomboid. It's all good if you've never played it. It'll be, it'll make sense. After this debate, I'll show a video of what Zomboid is like and what our goal's gonna be, and it'll make a lot more sense. We're just wrapping this up now, I imagine, because we're getting close to the end.
Trump, that's when we just fucked off with him. And a lot of Kanye's fan base is white. Just letting you know.
Well, yeah.
That is very true.
That big in numbers without having like the fucking white
a lot of his fan bases.
Well, most isn't most rap music, like rap, pop, and isn't it like most of like music that like is made by black artists that you would like almost kind of assume is made for a black consumer base is primarily consumed by white kids in the suburbs? Like, it's literally a meme. It's so well known. Like, that's the main consumer base for like a lot of that like art. I think that's actually true. You guys can tell me if it's not, but I'm pretty certain it is. Most popular music in general has a lot of white fans. Yeah, well, obviously that's true, but I think there's like unironically a crazy disparity when it comes to that surprises a lot of people when they first hear of it. But like when you really think about it, it's like, nah, it makes sense. Votnex, thank you for, or Vontux, thank you for the $5 super chat. Said, this Hotep reminds me of a former buddy of mine who claimed to hate Jimmy Dore, but was always mad about the same stuff Jimmy Dore was mad about. Yeah. Sometimes, like, people will have the same politics or be a fan of a political fit. Like, imagine this, right? If you had a friend who was a conservative and they asked you if you were a fan of Vosh or Xanderhal, how would you respond? You probably would respond like, you know, I agree with some of the stuff they say, but I don't necessarily watch them that much. I guarantee tons of you in chat have been questioned by somebody, are you a fan of Vosh or Xanderhal? And had to give a little, you know, a little bit of a, I agree with some of their stuff. I don't really watch them, though. You know, like, because you had to save yourself there, because you knew.
Yeah.
You know, personally, I'm more of a Kendrick Lamar fan, always have been, but you know.
You want proof, Nook? You want proof, Nook? You want proof?
Wait, hold up. Wait, was Nook talking in fucking chat? Nook, shut the fuck up. Please.
No. Let's go over his point real quick, because this fucking Canadian wants to get in the conversation. Let's hear this. There was nothing.
Holy shit, this guy is a fan of me.
Where Jews were saying that blacks were going to be anti-Semitic. Is that what you're saying? That there wasn't a fear from the Jewish community that we would fall into normalizing anti-Semitism? Is that what you're fucking saying? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're gonna say right now, Doc? Are you gonna be another fucking retard again? I'm just asking you. Well, your opinion is fucking dog shit. Shut the fuck up. All right, let's continue the conversation.
Okay, Nook. If I see that message,
okay, I can actually understand why I'd be a fan of my content now. I can actually see why he might like my videos and watch my streams from time to time now. Typing classes go hard. I am so embarrassed of how badly I type. Holy fucking shit. Like, it's It's not good. Learn that shit. I don't even have a desk setup that's conducive to it. Like, I need to get like a desk and keyboard setup that's like good, and a nice chair where my arms are level with, like, because right now I'd like have to bend like in weird ways to contort around my mic. It's all a nightmare right now. But yeah, it's pretty easy to teach yourself. Christ, I don't even know where to begin. Yeah, I've got a really cramped and fucked up streaming space right now. You have a keyboard, that's all you need? No, like, I wish I could show you. I can't move my camera because it's screwed down. It's like literally nailed down. I wish I could show you like how scuffed my setup is, but I have this mic right here, and I have my mouse right here, and then I have my keyboard right here, and I have to I wish you could see. My arm is like this to type on the keyboard when I have my setup like this, and my legs are like folded up under me because I don't have any leg room, and my elbow hits the wall like if I go too far over this way, right? Like, it's a pretty cramped little space. And not only that, but my mouse and keyboard and my mic are all on one of those sliding trays that slide in and out, as you can see, because my whole desk is shaking as I do it. And there's, like, the top of the desk is, like, right above. So, like, I don't even have room for my knuckles to clear to slide underneath to get at my keyboard when anything else is in the way. So it's just, like, I gotta get a new desk and a whole new setup before I even think about pursuing the learning how to type properly. It's all such a nightmare right now, but I definitely do want to. I'm pretty embarrassed that that I do a computer job and I don't know how to type properly, and I just kind of peck my way through typing.
Send. I will mute you.
I don't care about it. I'm getting tired of this fucking Canadian. Every time I'm having a conversation, this piece of shit keeps talking shit, and he always does it when he has a group around him because he's a fucking pussy and he's a coward. Anyway, let's continue the conversation, Bill. Let's go back to what were we on about? Fucking done with this retard.
Yeah,
this is wild.
Okay. So we were talking about Tariq Nasheed. We can get off of that point. I'll prefer not to talk about him. I really do not like that man.
Yeah, I don't like him either, but I can agree on some of his points when he is right.
Well, a broken clock is right twice a day. So.
Yeah, that's my entire point. That's why I'm not. Don't ever say that I'm a fanboy of him. That I only follow black figures like that on the internet, because I don't.
Okay.
Don't misrepresent me because of your own thoughts about me in your own fucking head. All right.
Okay.
Now let's continue.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sunshine.
So yeah, love you too, sweetheart. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if I may ask, how did you develop this this philosophy? Because like,
Well, as
I really thought that you. I really, I, I, I legitimately thought that a pillow was gonna say, "So how did you develop this autism?" I don't know why, but that was the first. I was prepping for that to be what was said. I was prepping for it.
as a black man, who grew up in the South, I have never had good relations with other communities within this small community we have here. And I've already said where I live. A lot of people do know where I live within the South. There's a local white community nearby us, and there's a black community that I live within. And the white community, we do not have good relations with that community. We do not like the white community within our area because they actively try to terrorize or insult.
I don't know why, but the concept of a white community does kind of sound scary. You know what I mean? Like, you hear there's a black community nearby, and it's like, oh, that's nice. But then you hear someone say there's a white community nearby, and it's like, what do you mean by that? You know? Like, yeah. Yeah.
I've been called the hard R multiple times when I used to go to school. I was called the hard R multiple times. I saw this one black kid, this one real nice black kid, who was hitting on this white woman once within the lunchroom. The white woman told a bunch of the other boys in the school that some black guy was hitting on them, and few
I believe this story, and I know where it went. This shit happens. This is real. I mean, like, even if he's lying about this specific story, this has happened. Like, I imagine what we're about to hear is that, like, said white girl basically tattled and got, like, I hope to God it wasn't like got a bunch of the white dudes at the school to beat him up for hitting on her, like, asking her out. Like, that's where I imagine this is going, because that shit happens. In fact, it literally happened, like, among adults and was illegal. There were literal laws that dictated that, like, white, like, say, like, if you were a white dude and you found out that your girlfriend or wife cheated on you with a black man, you were allowed to just go kill him for it. And here's the thing, you didn't need proof, because it was like the fucking... Yeah, you didn't need proof. You didn't need proof. Yeah. Wait, he has a hard R coming up. Mute the stream after this. Oh, no, I don't think I'll get in trouble for it. Like, that, I don't think that's how it works. I think it's fine.
hours later, I was walking through the hallway and I see this black, they start beating on the fucking black guy. They jump him, and while they're fucking beating him, they call him the hard R. So of course, I'm not going to have similar outlook to you who may live somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get that, and that's the issue with.
And that's in the modern day, by the way. Just saying, this isn't like the '60s.
Oh no, I can definitely believe it. I've faced. I mean, again, I live in North Carolina, which is in the South. Despite the name, you know, I have also faced horrible racial prejudice myself in my life.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to live, you know, at least in like a relatively sizable city, because North Carolina, for the South, actually has like quite a couple of cities.
Okay, no hard R. I didn't hear. I didn't hear the N-word said, soft A or hard R. I think I just heard someone say hard R.
Yeah,
which is
I know.
I'm pretty stoned, but I'm still following along.
You know, I've been out in the country before. I live in suburbia, so like I experience racism myself. The place that I work actually is like right on the cusp of like suburbia to the country, so I've experienced racism there. I get it 100%. My main thing is just like, it feels, and this is just from like what you've said with the whole like, oh, I want to like build up the black community, but I want it to be like mostly black people, and like while some people can focus on the issues of other groups, like I want to primarily focus on this, and I think people should primarily focus on building us up. It seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but
you've misrepresented me a lot of times.
Well, yes, please just correct me if I'm wrong this time. Okay. Yeah. It seems like this insularity comes from issues that you've had with other groups in the past, and my main thing is just like, Eliza, shut the fuck up. Not you, Eliza, shut up.
Well, race alliance, that means fucking nothing, Eliza, okay?
Okay.
Continue.
How about this? Next person to type in chat. Actually, no, I'm gonna put this up.
You know what, Pillow?
Was this like in my like one of the VCs in my server, and then like people were talking in VC text or like in the chat for the like the VC chat, like the text chat for the VC? I'm assuming that's what happened here, and people are like arguing in the chat. Yeah, okay. Because I don't see these arguments happening on the stream chat. I see it I imagine it's happening in Discord. Yeah, okay. When did this happen? Was this like the other night? They wouldn't shut the fuck up. Oh, I'm sorry. Damn, I'm only watching for the slurs. Same. Same. We're just here. We're just here to hear. We're just here to hear the slurs, and then we can go home. This is the Chud Zone chat. People were being dipshits. It was a couple of nights ago. Okay, so this was in the quarantine. Makes sense. All right.
I can understand why in this space I'm so aggressive now, because I was nice when I first came here. I was very reasonable. I was very nice to everyone, and I still got cursed out like that. I still got that treatment. This is why I don't like anybody in this community, and why I'm not friendly to most of you anymore. Because I've been banned before as well. I've been muted multiple times, and now I've been chutted or perma-muted, whatever it is.
Oh shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, but then again, I think that's just the thing about engaging in politics.
We got a local
on, like,
chud
Discord server. It's not like.
Oh, but here's the thing. In this server, I've watched Xanderhall. I've watched a few other lefty creators as well, and they preach being able to convert people to leftyism. And I don't believe if you want to convert people that you're going to operate and carry yourselves like this, or you're going to tell somebody, a black man, which I've been told this in this fucking community, to suck a big white Nazi cock, or call him a bigot, call him this or that and that. Even when he's trying to explain himself and being reasonable.
Did I do that? I think he might be talking about someone who's not me. I think he may be talking about someone who's not me. Also, I don't pride like my Discord or my community on being capable of de-radicalizing people. The goal is that people who are either like centrist or like right center leaning or like full on far right wing will see my content, and it will be a crack in like the wall of the conservative propaganda that has sort of formed around their mind. And a crack can basically cause that wall to crumble or not. I don't think I have the power to completely de-radicalize somebody, but I think I have the power to maybe nudge someone slightly, just barely, enough in the right direction that maybe a few of those people end up going down a good path. And the reason why I say that and why I know that's true is because it's happened to many people. There are people in chat right now that have probably been de-radicalized by my community, my content, and like this just general lefty kind of sphere, right? And I've gotten shit tons of messages about that. I've gotten a lot of messages from trans people who were like super transphobic Nazi gamer bros who end up messaging me like a year later after they like left a dislike and hate comment on my videos saying they realize they're trans and like now they're a big fan of my content and they're sorry for what they said and they want to be unbanned or whatever. And you know, and that shit will be genuine. There's people where I like, you know, I make sure that shit's not a meme before I unban somebody in a situation like that. So like, it's definitely happened. I'm not saying it's like, oh, some hero de-radicalizing the far right, but no, I think that my content can like potentially push people into a better direction. Like me, yeah. Sylvia says like me.
We also
get dogpiled. This is literally, this is why I said this is literally, I've debated people on the right as well. I haven't just debated lefties. This is literally the experience I've had in literal like fucking neo-Nazi and like alt-right discourse that I've debated and fought with.
Okay, so I would like to note
this
is a server of over 30,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Shit happens.
Wait, what? Oh, it's 6,000. We're at about 6,000. Okay. Hold on, I was about to say, Jesus. No, we've got about 6,000 members in the server. Apparently, we could apply for like Discord partner, like verifying the Discord server, and I did apply for it, but we didn't get the partner. We didn't get the partner. Yeah, we got 82 million people in the Discord. It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the excuse? Zan is one person.
The mods themselves, the people who hires the mods in this server.
Zan and other mods.
He thinks the mods are getting paid.
But
Yeah,
9 times
so
out of 10,
the
it's
mods themselves act like this. The mods themselves that I've seen, that I've tried to be friendly with, act like this. And then they get surprised when a lot of people don't want to like be on the left. And I'm not even like a fucking chud. I don't even support Republicans. But
The mods are volunteers. The mods are my friends and like fans of my content that like the community, or like big fans of the community that are like trustworthy. Yeah, they're working for exposure.
I don't support the left or Democrats either currently.
Okay, mate.
Maybe
you have to keep in mind that the mods had muted you and shutted you, and I know this because I'm a mod myself, and I know the way that we usually mod around here. To everyone else,
no, mate. My mods all my mods have like 15 Bugattis.
It seemed like you were being belligerent in general chat, which is why, yes, that is the word I'm going to use. You were kind of being, and trust me, listen, I'm someone who can get very fucking belligerent. I know belligerent when I see it. You were getting belligerent in general chat, hence why you got shutted.
I was literally being attacked by multiple people in the chat. I wasn't being belligerent. I was arguing.
By the way, technically, if any of the mods were having like a really bad financial situation and they need me to spot the money, it wouldn't be a question of whether or not I'd do it. I absolutely would.
With multiple people dogpiling, that's not being belligerent.
And you know what you do when that happens?
I'll be specifically belligerent to one person that I'm fucking constantly insulting, but I wasn't. In general chat, I was arguing with multiple people, some of which have been in this VC, that actively fuck with me. So no, I'm not being belligerent. I'm giving the same energy that you people in this community give out. And when I give that same energy back, you fucking people freak the fuck out and you act like assholes. And you act like I'm being unreasonable. When I was reasonable, I was nice. I was open. I was literally talking to a guy who wanted to convince me to be a communist, and I was listening to him. He was being nice, but then I get fucking kicked out of the server when I come back.
Xander Hall, the whole reason I chudded him was so I could stop people from dogpiling him. I mean, yeah, it seems like the chudding was valid, though. I mean, he seems to have some pretty chuddy beliefs. That's what chudding's for. Like, clearly his ideas were antagonizing people who felt as though he wasn't a big fan of their identity. E.g., like, hold on, I gotta adjust my ass. Gotta adjust my ass so it's comfy. Like, clearly there were people in the Discord that felt a little uncomfortable, felt like maybe their identities weren't being respected by this individual, which I think is reasonable to be upset about.
I want to talk to him. I got dogpiled again. So no, don't go there, because I will dog walk you through all the screenshots and experiences I've had within a few days being in the server.
It was probably a good move to chud him. Clearly I'm too nice to black people, Zan. Yeah, clearly you're just too racist. You overcorrected. Now you're racist.
Because I didn't agree with a lot of you in your points.
Okay, you know how...
Because you used less... You treated... You just didn't ban right away like you would a random white Discord user. So you've proven you actually have a racial bias, and you are trying to overcorrect for it, Balth. You've just revealed your true beliefs. I love the Balthazar is racist meme. We should keep doing it. Just kidding.
About this. Next time you're arguing with someone...
We love Balth.
In the server, you know, if you remain in the server after this, that's your choice. Next time someone does that, DM me. How about that? Just DM me. Does that sound good?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you have a lifeline to an... Listen, I'm giving you a lifeline to an admin. I wouldn't whatever this.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Next time, just DM me, and I'll see what I can do. Sound good?
Yeah, let's just continue the conversation.
Cool. Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Not as particular. I just wanted to clarify a lot of this, because I've been called a lot of shit in this server, and having been... Even now, I've been dealing with one of your moderators start constantly fucking with me. I mean, we could talk about the topic of them claiming me to be racist towards white people as a whole.
Oh boy.
Talk about that, being accused.
Okay,
of
we
that.
got time.
You know, I don't necessarily know why they accused you.
I mean, he can't be racist against white people. He literally watches my videos. Like, what do you mean? That makes no sense. I'm white. You can't watch my videos and be racist against white people. That makes no sense.
You haven't said anything
Think!
This conversation that would indicate that, and if I'm being honest...
Saru said, and Saru basically said, because I was talking about white people, and he said that I was being racist towards white people for talking about them. And when I said, hey, I'm distincting white ignorance from white people or individuals. I'm fine with white individuals who aren't racist towards me. The problem that I have with is white ignorance and white racists within this community. And when I did that, he got very angry with me. So I called him a white ignorant. And when he continued, he kept calling me a fucking bigot and racist towards white people. And that pissed me off.
Okay.
And it still pissed me off because everyone was fine with it. Nobody defended me at all.
I'm just gonna say this. Yeah. I don't know the 100 of the situation. I've heard your tale. Well, I'm not gonna say tail. That sounds demeaning. I've heard what you've said. I don't think I've heard what Saru said, and I would have to review the messages. But at the end of the day, you haven't said anything to me.
Aesthetically, Saru in both my chat and in Apillo's chat says he did not say that. So, honestly, considering the fact this guy hasn't done a very good job of representing his position so far, I feel like he might not be doing a good job of representing what he actually said previously. So, yeah.
You haven't said anything to me that would indicate.
Pillow looks tired. I'm tired too.
So I'm gonna assume that you're not, and we can move on from.
I've been live for 6 hours. Holy crap. Time flies when you're having fun with lovely little gay people in your computer. 425 people still here, by the way. Hey, Parallax, what's up? Good to see you.
At this point, because I'm not Saru, and I'm not gonna fight Saru's battles. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
Well, what do you have to say? Because you said we're talking about black liberation. What do you think about that? Or where I come from? What do you think about my beliefs? I've made some clarifications and had to correct you on some of it.
I think it would do you well to learn a little bit about intersectionality.
You know what? If you can give me some sources, I'll check them out on my own time. Because I've been given sources by some of you, and I've even talked to a communist himself, and he gave some good points. So if you give me some good points, I'll think about that. But so far...
Oh yeah, communist is pretty cool. We're friends. We gotta watch through Game of Thrones. Holy shit. Oh, we gotta do the Game of Thrones watch party in my Discord. Oh shit. I forgot. I've been edging communist on that for a while now. On watching through Game of Thrones in the Discord. Oh, that's gonna be good. We have to age restrict that, though. We unironically have to age restrict the Game of Thrones watch party. Or watch parties, because, like... I am personally not comfortable with there being anyone underage in that watch party when it comes to Game of Thrones. Can I join just for the sex scenes? Fuck you. Yeah, no, I don't want any underage people in there, but yeah, 10 away from 1.6k. Let's go, Pillow! Let's keep those subs flowing in. Keep them flooding. Keep them pouring.
So far, I don't like how you painted me earlier as a Tariq Nasheed fan, or that I had disdain towards black women when I've done the farthest. Or you said that you can still say that you love people and hate them. Like, why did you say that?
I mean, you can.
Why did you say that? Yeah, but I don't. I literally said in chat earlier that I love black women and I want black women and black men to unite, and that's why I date black women, because I want to unite.
Well, yeah, but that's also the thing about it. A lot of people can see that as a kind of patriarchal view, like the idea that black men and black women should marry and should unite.
How is it patriarchal? I didn't specifically say marriage.
It can
I said
sound
that black women and black men in general should love each other and be more united. How is that patriarchal? I didn't say that they should start marrying and shit, though.
Well, yeah, but whenever you say unite in that kind of context, it usually indicates marriage. That's usually what it indicates.
I need to clarify that it's not marriage. At no point did I bring up marriage, nor was marriage the intent of that argument. I just said that black women and black men should be more united. Even if they aren't together, they should be able to have some level of love and connection to each other as brothers and sisters. Because we've been on this fucking continent for years now. We've been together, and we have people in our own community that hate black men, or men in quotations, who hate on black women. I'm not for that. That's why I don't like Kevin Samuels, and I don't agree with everything some of these black figures say, while realizing they can say some good shit.
Gotcha.
I don't cape for these creators, but I haven't caped for any of them, so don't ever accuse me of being one of their fanboys, all right?
Okay, you said it. Confess. I got you.
So is he... I'll try to be generous, or sorry, not generous. What's the term for it? Charitable, that's the term. I'll try to be charitable here. Is he trying to argue right now that there is a problem? Most long-winded motherfucker. I'm trying to put together what he meant. I think he's trying to say he thinks there's a problem in the black community when it comes to black women not liking or disrespecting black men, and black men not liking or disrespecting black women, and that he wants there to be more unification and less negative sentiment between these two groups, because he seems to believe there is a lot of that. Now, I am a white boy, so I am looking from the outside in, but from what I can tell, that kind of shit is, like, mostly, like, on Twitter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, I feel like most of that is like a Twitter thing, not so much like a tangible, broader problem that you could like. He's really bad at expressing his opinions. I mean, public speaking is definitely a skill that has to be honed, but well, I'm definitely struggling to figure out, because I want to be charitable here, right? I mean, he seems genuine in that, like, how upset he is when he gets called a Tariq Nasheed fan or like a Hotep, but like, maybe he's based, but just really bad at expressing his ideas. Because everything he's saying here could have like a plausible, really fine, okay interpretation, but maybe he's just really bad at like expressing his point, and it's causing confusion, and then he's getting upset at people who are confused at what he's saying. What is a Hotep, by the way? So Hoteps are basically people, they're usually black. There's not a lot of white Hoteps, but I suppose it's possible, that believe that black people should have their own, essentially, ethno-state of sorts in order to form their own communities separate from the oppression and the effects of white people. They oftentimes believe in a lot of conspiracy around the idea that, white people are trying to find ways to infiltrate, weaken, and degrade the black community. And the really fucking weird thing, or the harmful thing, is much like TERFs and other like really fucked up but still successful ideologies, is they take advantage of like real things that happened and twist it into some conspiratorial narrative. So for example, as Apillo mentioned earlier with the Buck Breaking movie, they'll take things such as the sexual exploitation of black people during slavery, and they'll try to spin some, which is true and real and like literally historically factually known, despite how much white slave owners in the South tried to hide that history by, destroying it. Hold on, I gotta go back. Okay. Okay. Hoteps will basically claim that they basically make the claim that, for example, white people used religion as a way of breaking black people's connection to like their heritage and like their history and their like past generations of family, right? So like Christianity was basically pushed onto a lot of slaves, especially like obviously in the South, especially. Christianity was pushed onto them, and that Christianity, like the verses and the arguments that were used were ones used to justify slavery. They tried to use like God and the Bible and Christianity to justify to slaves, to justify slavery. Most Hoteps are actually Christian. That's true, but a lot aren't. Yeah, so basically, they take something like that, and they'll take the concept of like white people forcing something onto black people like that, and then they twist it into a conspiracy where it's like nowadays it's like white people are pushing bourgeoisie, white, gay and trans stuff onto the black community, and a lot of Hoteps will like they'll be like black Israelites, and they'll be like black Hebrew Israelites, and they'll be like Jewish kind of, and then there's like Hoteps that are like Muslim and will like identify with like Islam, and there are Hoteps that are Christian, but I don't really think Hoteps that are Christian are the most common. I don't really think Christian when I think Hotep and religion. Typically I think like being Jewish or Islam. But yeah. So to basically give you a much more short-winded answer, black Nazis.
I'm just
Okay.
I'm going to keep,
Listen,
keep
trust me.
saying that, because if you ever do that again, I'm going to just clarify that, right? I don't like that.
Wait, what are you going to do
I've
if I
been
do
told
that
that
again?
before. I'm going to insult you, and I'm going to call out your bullshit
Oh,
over
you
and
can
over and
call me
over
every
until
word in the
I'm
book.
going to keep nailing that and drilling it into your head. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds. Ooh, that sounds kind of.
I think he just implied he'll say a slur.
So, moving on to it. Yeah, no. So back to what I was saying. A lot of people can see that as like a little bit of a patriarchal view. And again, not saying that you believe this. Just be more clear with your rhetoric, please. A lot of the people who do preach that same stuff do tend. Yes, you've clarified, But in future,
Even in chat though.
in future, okay, in future, be more clear with what you mean by that, because a lot of the people who preach something similar to that with the same rhetoric just mean that they want like black women barefoot and pregnant and like fucking housewives. Okay, which is that what you want? I don't think that's what you want, but just to make sure, is that what you want? Okay, good to know. We can move on from that point now.
I'm not a tradcon.
Okay, good to know you're not a tradcon. That's one good thing that we've moved over on. Okay.
Regardless, man, I just need to understand. I'm gonna need those sources.
Yeah, I'll send you like a PDF of like
we solved racism.
Angela Davis. It's a really good book, you know. And I brought her up. I think it'll do you good to like read her material. She's a very smart woman. Okay.
But to just finish this before I like take a break and relax a little bit, I just need to say this real quick to Nuke. Why is it that every time someone's having a conversation, or anytime someone's having a conversation, you have to butt in and be an asshole? Like, it's always the Canadians that I see do this. I just need to clarify that before I head up. It's always the Canadians. It's just like it's inherent.
Holy shit!
To be assholes.
I think I know where I got this guy, dude. I think I know like what it is about my content that made this guy a fan. Holy shit! He heard me like he clicked on one of my streams expecting to hate watch, and he heard me going on some rant about Canadians and was like, "Okay, I'll give this guy a shot. I'll give this guy a chance."
Anyway, I'm gonna head out.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. You guys have a good one.
You too.
Maybe I taught him the Canadian racism.
All right. You have a good night, dude.
Damn it, Zan.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's ironic.
Ignoring the fact that a Canadian was making sure that he was catered to as best as possible.
Guy is a whole fucking mess, dude. That was painful. That was so fucking painful. I still think that he's a Hotep. I think he just got fucking insecure when I called him out on watching Freak Machine. Like, I never brought up Kevin Samuels. He brought him up, and then he got super defensive over that.
We need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah, we do not need to talk about Kevin. I'll rather shoot myself than talk about Kevin. Chat.
I want to make it fun.
Chat, how do we feel about that one? That is my first debate back streaming. How do we feel about that one? He sent me a friend request, really? Okay, fuck it.
Oh shit.
Sure, accept.
Wait,
I've accepted.
are we allowed to talk?
Yes, you are allowed to talk. Man.
Don't say any slurs. He's fucking said enough.
These fucking Canadians.
They're gonna say slurs. Hold on, it's my Discord. Trust me, they love saying slurs every time. As soon as my back is turned, it's nonstop slurs. We gotta get out of here. No, that was fucking awesome. I'm gonna refresh this video now, and there better be a shit ton of likes and more subs in this channel.
Specific internet.
Chat. I need all of you who are here right now to go like, comment, and subscribe on this video right now. Alright? No excuses. I'm watching right now. I want to see that like count go up. No less than 100 likes. We're at 43 right now. I want to see that go up to 100 likes at least. I know we're capable of it. We got 400 people here right now.
Specific internet groups. What do you mean?
We're at 50. Come on, 50 more. At least 50 more. I know you guys can do it. I'm sub, but I didn't like. Leave a like and comment. Comment like Zan Squad or something. It helps with the algorithm, trust me. It helps. 66, come on. I want to see that like count go up. I want to... Hey, 1.6k subs. Congrats, Apillo. You hit 1.6k. Keep it going, chat. Keep it going. We're getting close. 66 likes. Let's get it up to 100. 78. We're getting close. Come on, push it up. This is not the last of Apillo you will see on my streams, so you might as well give in and subscribe.
Specific internet groups. What do you mean by that?
Oh.
Become a subscribe. Become one of the first 10 trillion subs that Apillo gets. Yo, 1.61. Let's go. Okay. We might actually hit 1.7k. Let's go. Let's do this. 91 upvotes.
Specific internet group.
96. Playing Minecraft. I'm in the nether. Sorry. Pause the game. Or hide yourself in a little hole. Do the thing. Do the thing. 3 more likes. Come on. 3 more.
Specific internet group.
100.
Oh, you know.
We did it. 100 likes. And 1.61k subscriberinos. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. if you're watching this segment, be sure to go subscribe and leave some support as well. I want you to be part of a big old wave of people who go over to A Pillow's channel. This will obviously go up as its own segment, and will be, I think I'll call it, definitely not a Hotep debate review, I think is what we'll call it. I think that's a good name for this segment. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, this segment, or if you're watching live, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and ringing the bell icon. Turning on all notifications on YouTube so they tell you when I go live or upload a new video. And of course, make sure to follow all of my social media, linked down below in the description. And of course, don't forget, if you want to support me financially, and you want to help me save up money for my move and raising quail and all that good stuff, then consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live. You could just hit the buttons up there, either the donate or the subscribe button, and that will allow you to donate, subscribe, or gift a sub to somebody else. Or you can support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or Patreon. All of those have donation features as well. With all that said, no matter how you support me, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.